starting the podcast?
Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is the Rando Convo podcast. I'm your host, Nick the producer. What's going on, bro?
You already know what's going on. You feel me?
Young.
How's your boy?
How's your week been, bro?
It's been another week in life, man. Not too crazy from the others.
Just a normal week?
Nothing to highlight, you feel me?
Okay. What's your rando thought this week, bro?
Oh yeah, we doing it. I got Rando Thought 1A, Rando Thought 1B. You ready?
Sure.
Rando Thought 1A. Shout out to everyone who has notified me that I need a haircut. Thank you. It's not like I didn't know that. I'm growing my hair for some reason. I don't know what it is yet, but thank you. Appreciate you. Much love. Rando Thought 1B. Failure is a part of success. It's just how life works. If you don't feel that way, that's on you. But I promise you it is. All right, Rando Thought out.
All right, excellent. My rando thought is never assume anything.
Oh, boy. Oh.
We'll get into it.
Teardrops.
We'll get into it later.
Oh, I've been trying to tell people this forever now. Stop assuming. It just don't work. It don't work like it used to.
Yeah, man. We gonna get into something that, people assumed and it didn't come true. But anyways, let's get into this first topic real quick, bro, because a lot's happened this week. It hasn't been the craziest week of the
It's been a pretty good
quarantine.
news week, actually, in my opinion.
So first off top, we have a new vice president nomination, Kamala Harris. Got her name right?
Good job.
That's been a big thing. You know what's been crazy?
Word.
Like, people have been mad at Apple on Twitter because whenever you try to type her name in, it like immediately autocorrects that shit.
I'm gonna be real with you. My name is Nana. Nana.
Right.
You know how many times I've been told this shit ain't a word or a name?
How can somebody tell like another person that their name is not a name?
Microsoft Word and everything that uses autocorrect has felt that way.
Do they autocorrect it to like the same shit every time?
It's sometimes you autocorrect the word and it doesn't give a suggestion.
Yeah.
That
no suggestion available.
Fix this. That's what it tells me.
That sucks.
It's my life. Thank you.
Nah, whenever you put her name in, it's Kamala. It adds a P or some shit. It's like, damn.
Kamala.
It was trending on Twitter. Like, the autocorrect was trending on Twitter. Like,
I believe it. Look, if I could blow up, I'm gonna make it happen. She's not alone.
I think she's been getting like, and it's obviously,
Shout out to everyone with the rare name. You feel me? It's life. You know how it'll go.
I feel like
say my name's rare. Actually,
I feel like Trump opened the floodgates for all the hate to flood in for her. I've been seeing.
You don't think it was already there?
Not as heavy.
I think it was just more like, oh, we can put this on the internet too. He's doing it.
I mean, it is, to me, like, as somebody who is to the left of her politics wise,
word,
she's not my first pick. She wouldn't even be like my 10th pick.
That's
she's not gonna stop me from voting against this man,
which is all the positive you need.
Yeah, like, she is not a net negative, in my opinion.
Word.
I think the big negative on her, which to me doesn't factor into me voting for her or not.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I can see how some people don't fuck with it. Mm-hmm. She's a police officer.
Word.
Like, she was a prosecutor. So in this time when things are so like anti-police, I get it from that perspective. But I don't think that's a big enough reason for you not to vote for somebody.
I hear you.
Because she's more than just that. Because people are like, oh, why did she pick that job? Why didn't she do something else? It's like, she literally became a senator right afterwards.
People are always going to find a reason. Me personally, I don't know too much about her. But from what I've seen, just demographic-wise and how the world's shaping up and how everything's going, it was a pretty safe pick. She seems like a person.
It was the definition of a safe pick.
She doesn't seem like a person with a lot of too many. I mean, everyone's got a history, some type of past goal, but I think whatever you find is not that deep. Like,
one thing that's interesting about her,
go ahead.
She's very similar to Obama from this perspective. They were both born to immigrant Black economics father. They both were like smart. Her father was both smart.
All right.
Both immigrants, both Black.
Yep.
And they were raised by their mothers in middle class homes.
All right.
And spent some time out the country growing up.
It's
interesting. Like,
very interesting.
Obama grew up in Indonesia and she grew up in Canada.
She's pretty young. Politician.
She's 55.
I mean,
the fact that is young
for a politician, though. I mean, they're all like 60, 70, bro.
I mean, I'm not gonna argue with you that a lot of politicians are old.
All right,
but not all of them are that old. Like there are a lot of
Where's
people,
50 on the median range? Where are we talking?
I would say it's literally in the middle.
In the middle? All right.
Because politicians get elected when they're like younger, or like in
I would
their,
say low
like
40s.
Sometimes 30s, sometimes
Late
40.
30s. I'm thinking late 30s,
late
low
30s,
40s.
yeah, late 30s,
Right.
early 40s, and then they're there for.
She's younger than
years.
everyone else we're gonna look at for the next couple months.
Well, that's the thing. She's young compared to our presidential candidates.
That is facts.
Which is
the situation, ain't it?
Man, you know how I feel about that shit, man.
Look,
like
man.
that shit is the fact that we have only old people representing us.
I would say
the idea of like old people sending young people to war just doesn't like ring well with me.
I watch more Joe Biden videos. I understand your worry.
Like you seen him? You seen like how
he looks like
you see like just from like even like 8 years ago.
I didn't even really have to go back to his old videos. Just what I saw in his more recent ones. He looks like a kid in the intro to literature class who realizes now, or intro to speech class.
I got what you were saying.
Who looks like he just realized he has to give a speech for one of the very first times in his life and was not prepared to give this speech.
Never looks comfortable, right?
It's eerie almost watching him give a speech because you could tell. You know when that kid's giving a speech and he's messing up, you're like, come on, bro, you got this. You got like that's how I felt watching Joe. Right. Where I was like, come on, get back on the sentence.
Because you want
get back on the sentence.
Everybody wants him to look the best he can possibly look. I don't think anybody who's like on our side of politics no one's actively cheering against him. I want Joe Biden to win the presidency. I want him to look presidential. Because we talk about Trump all the time and how he doesn't look presidential.
I don't really care too much for that term.
I'm saying, but people say that all the time. That's a big reason why people don't like Trump.
Sure. I mean, that's a iffy way, though. Not like somebody, but gotcha. Go ahead.
There's people like that. And it's like, if you're going to hate Trump for being, like, not presidential.
Look, if I become president, I'll be cool in it. Just as you know now, I'm be the coziest nigga alive. Continue. Oh, my God. Go ahead. Continue.
You probably will be able to talk better than Joe Biden.
I hope so.
Ain't that a shame? But I mean, she overall, like, I don't think she's a bad person. I think that people are they're sizing her up like she's like, oh, Trump's like she's a far left. It's like
there's always gonna be something, bro. There's always gonna be something. Whether it's cap or not cap, even to present the argument is enough to make a back and forth. You feel me? So there's always gonna be something. You're either gonna listen or you're not gonna listen.
A lot of people listen to that motherfucker.
I believe it. So what do you think? She helps his campaign, hurts his campaign, doesn't add much, keeps it moving?
I think she literally doesn't add anything.
Word, not as like 0.8%?
Of course.
Come on, bro. Give me numbers.
I'm saying, like, in terms of a big swing, no.
Okay.
Like,
I don't feel that. I'm not getting that vibe.
Because she's so safe.
I'm not getting that vibe that, like, he put her out there and everyone's like, yes, this was what we needed. Everyone's kind of like, cool.
To me, there was only one answer that I think would have swayed him in a different direction. That, like, okay, if you do this, like, it's either going to strongly elevate your campaign or strongly, like, negatively impact it.
Okay.
If he had Obama as his vice president.
Is he allowed to do that?
Yeah.
Word. No way. Oh, that was ugly.
Yeah, that's just what it is. But that's my Verizon notification for my cable. For my
pay the bill, nigga. Pay the bill.
Nah, nigga, for my new shit.
Oh.
You don't gotta pay the bill till they set that shit up.
You gonna pay the bill, nigga? Pay
I
the
will
bill.
eventually.
Pay the bill.
But yeah, Obama can technically do that.
That's tough. On some Vladimir Putin shit. He can't run for president again.
Yeah, he can't run for president.
Yeah, so.
But vice president, that's never happened before.
Niggas don't talk about that. Putin does some shit.
But look, okay, but I think that Obama is one of the most popular president. Not even president, popular politicians.
Oh, for sure.
So it's like, I think it could have a very positive, like, effect on the campaign. I think Kamala Harris is like, okay.
Look, maybe there's some grandmaster plan.
Now, look, it could have been a lot worse.
I believe it.
What if he said, like, Hillary Clinton?
I think a lot of people would raise eyebrows.
Honestly, I would be sitting there. I would vote for him still, but I'd be like, we're going to lose.
No faith, huh?
No, because so many people hate her.
That is like,
that would be a negative.
I would say Trump's campaign team did a fantastic job painting her in a negative light. I mean, it couldn't have done that any better. I
always say, because I argue with my friends all the time, like, Trump, the 2016 campaign, like,
that's historic.
They were great.
That's historic.
Not what they were like saying. They're all cap.
They were
all cap.
They sold so well.
It was like marketing cap.
They sold. I mean, that's
like they had me even like, is this bitch that bad? And then when I do my research, I'm like, damn, she kind of is.
That's
that
a
bad.
master's degree in marketing for you. That's what that man had in
like,
that team.
Anybody who criticizes Trump, fair. But don't criticize the 2016 campaign success.
I can never criticize a scheme. That's just me as a person. You feel me? I seen that finesse. That joint. Even I feel like me personally, I was part of the finesse. You feel me? I was finessed in the finesse per se, and I was looking at that like, God damn, that was a finesse. Yeah, they did that. They painted that man up. But look, man, that's the world we living in, man. Current times.
So I mean, does she? As far as what you know about her, like, do you like her, dislike her?
Don't know much to this day, so it's kind of like I feel like I'll learn more on the way, make a real judgment.
Interesting fact.
Hasn't turned a negative light for me. I'll say that.
Got you. Interesting fact. She's the only presidential, like, of the vice president right now that drinks
liquor.
Yeah, only one. The other ones, for some reason,
Trump doesn't drink liquor.
No, he's against it. I think he's always been, actually, which is interesting.
That's funny because I don't drink liquor like that. And it's weird that he does it because I feel like that's weird. When
you don't drink liquor, it's Trump-like, it seems.
Yeah. Paint an ugly picture like that again, and it's going to be the last time.
You don't like that one?
Please, next topic.
Joe Biden also, he only drinks what is it, unalcoholic beer? Like,
beer. That shit's disgusting.
Yeah, it's like, I'm like, ugh.
All right.
Just drink some water, nigga. And Mike Pence is weirdly religious, so.
Yo, I promise you, Mike Pence got some shit going on, bro.
People talk about, we need to find out the crimes that Donald Trump has done. It's like,
y'all need to talk this nigga, bro. My man Pence is the type of dude.
He got like the Jim Jones vibe.
He the type of dude where you're like, what's in the basement? And he just starts sweating bullets. Like,
he's like, mother.
Don't ask no more about that.
Honestly, that's the weirdest part about him. Like, you know what mother means, right?
But
that's what he calls his wife.
No.
He's like, mother.
For real?
Yes.
I mean, some people...
That is
some
weird,
people refer to their wife as mama. Like, you from mama in your family? She the mama? Big mama?
The only people I know who do that are Hispanic people.
Okay.
That's it.
He's not Hispanic.
I've never heard of a white male from Indiana.
Hey, bro, he changing up the game. Mother. I can't say that doesn't sound a little weird.
You want to go to bed, mother? Like
that doesn't sound a little weird.
They were saying mommy. That's different. That's gonna.
Does that sound any better to you?
Yes.
Gosh, you're cringy.
No, I don't say it.
All
but
right.
Like, if I hear somebody say that, I'm like, okay, whatever. Mother? That's weird.
I feel like your lines are drawn weird, but either way, they're both weird.
I feel like more people would agree with me and disagree with me.
Hey, bro, we could have a poll. I don't know where to put the poll at, but I think both are very cringeworthy. But the fact that mommy is not on your cringeworthy side,
you never known like an Hispanic couple and they call it mommy poppy. You never seen that?
With the accent, it works, but the way you said it was strange.
Okay, fine. I'm saying like that's more normal than him mother. Saying mother. Sure. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
No matter what way he calls his wife mother and mommy or whatever, it's not gonna sound attractive. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
It's weird, man.
Hey, man.
What does he call his mother? His actual mother?
Fuck if I know, Nick. It's not a good look. I've always wondered though, like. Nah, I'm gonna leave that one where it is. It's in my head. I'm gonna leave that alone.
It's offensive.
Hey, man, you never know. You never know what is at this time of day.
Damn, ain't that like a bitch?
That's like, life.
Nah, I feel like every day, like, you got to be walking on eggshells, make sure you're not offending nobody. I'd rather go in that direction than the other direction, man. But it's an adjustment.
I feel like because we're the No Off Limit podcast on the low, I gotta say it because if you say daddy past like whatever, and two niggas reach for whatever it is, where does that situation go from there?
Wait, daddy?
Like if a girl's like daddy past like the court or whatever.
And her father.
And it's like two niggas that, let's say it was her father. Let's say that neither her father.
It's her father. What if it's, you say daddy and it's her father?
Her father and her nigga. And like they both reach for said thing. Where does that go from there?
They're going to look at each other like.
Like you let it go. I feel like that's one of those where you just kind of like, we already knew the situation coming in.
You got to be like, hi. Yeah.
I don't know how I would feel as a father.
Shit.
If I heard it and he started reaching, I feel like I'm like,
I mean, if he's providing, like,
I'm gonna just let him know he got to put his
hand
out. I'm the original.
If he an ancient nigga, probably.
I'm the OG. I'm gonna feel some type of way whether he's
But if like this girl has a nigga who's like, you know,
I'm the OG. He better put his hand back. That's how I'm feeling.
I feel it. In that situation, if I'm the dad,
at his
own
dinner table, he can reach for wherever he wants.
But as a fly on the wall in that situation, I'm like, oh, that's an interesting situation.
I said, look,
I'm glad I'm not in that situation.
It came into my mind, so I feel like we put it out there.
That's an interesting. If
you don't fuck with how I worded it, I apologize.
Last thing on this topic.
Go ahead. Which got left field real quick.
It did because of you.
Okay. I mean, we could start blaming right now, Nick. Let's go.
So I follow the polls every single week.
Go ahead.
To make sure. Now, maybe like 3 weeks ago, Joe Biden was destroying this nigga in the polls.
Word.
Like, wrecking.
What are we talking? Like about to get nuked? Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Word.
Like definitely had like 28 on the 30 kill streak.
That's dope.
It was looking bad. Now things have tightened up.
All right.
A little bit.
That's an excellent comparison, actually.
Give or take.
Continue.
But yeah, Donald Trump he hasn't closed the gap because he's still losing in most of the polls.
Word.
The only poll he's winning in now in all the swing states are North Carolina.
I'm not surprised about that.
And Kansas.
Even less.
So everywhere else, Biden +6, Biden +10. 4 and under is the margin of error.
Okay.
So Biden, just in the general election poll, is +4. So he's literally right at the edge of it being a close.
That's eerie, don't you think?
Yeah, of course.
Huh?
Of course. It was always going to get closer towards the end. I still don't think I'm going to change my opinion and he's going to get beat. I think that everything is trending in that direction because while they say the polls were bad in 2016, they weren't off by a crazy amount. They were off in very specific places.
Oh, weird.
The general poll was always close.
Okay.
And the election turned out to be close.
It did.
It's in these individual states that the polls were off.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like in the states, like I think Pennsylvania was one, Michigan was the other one. Like that's when it was like, okay, this is kind of skewed. All the Trump supporters probably not going to the polls in these particular polls in these states.
Gotcha.
You know, so you can't trust state polls as heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Those are where Biden is absolutely blowing them out.
Okay.
+10, +6, +4 in different polls. General poll, that's the most just like accurate, +4. And this is as of Thursday, August 13th. So Biden is winning, but do not let this be a sign to, I don't need to vote because he's already going to win. Don't think that.
Probably should have started with that.
I think we should end with that. I think ending with this is better. Like,
next topic.
Moral of the story, y'all. Just make sure y'all vote.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Please. I know it's corny as fuck, but please.
You are a corny person, so it's okay.
I mean, being corny sometimes has its values.
I'm sure.
I'd rather be corny than violent. I don't know.
Just hit with the topic,
bruh. What's going on in Chicago?
What isn't going on in Chicago, ain't it?
So I pulled up some stats.
Go ahead. Put some numbers out there.
Stats really quick.
I think. Do you want to outline the situation though? What happened in Chicago though?
I mean, it depends on how far you want to go back because
all right,
I'm
referring.
Let me read to you a stat just showing the gun deaths from a year ago to now. Or from 5 years.
I'm referring to last weekend. I'm gonna just put that out there now.
I got you. But let me go over from 2013.
Go ahead.
2013.
You wanted to list the stat.
2013, 245 people died from homicides in Chicago. 14 to 31. 15 to 71. 16, 404. 17, 420. 18, 330. So we went down a little bit. 19, 307. This year, as of last week, 432. So at maybe not the halfway point, but like I'd say like 65% of the year done, we already have 12 more deaths than the most deaths we've had in the past 7 years.
I'm not surprised at that at all. You take away jobs, you tell a bunch of people to sit still.
Yeah.
And you put a very, very violent environment together.
Now it makes the case because a lot of people on the, like Republicans, they argue this is specifically because of the leadership in Chicago.
I could imagine that argument.
Now, just to give a background, the mayor of Chicago itself, she's a Democrat, Mayor Lori Lightfoot.
Cool.
So she's been the old lady who's been out there doing the press conferences saying, we need to stop this. Looters aren't going to control our city, but they are.
Okay.
They have in the state of Illinois in general,
sure,
18 congressmen and women, 12 of them are Democrats. The senators are both Democrats. One's been in there since the 90s. The other one got in there in 2017.
Cool.
The Republicans blame the violence in this city specifically because the leadership of the Democratic Party has been so awful. Now, do I believe that? No, I think there's a lot of different factors as to why there's so much violence.
Okay.
But goddamn, that don't look bad.
I imagine so.
Like, goddamn. Like, it's hard to make the case that they're not part of the problem.
I think that's a weird way to shine that light.
I'm saying, would that be my first pick of what's going on and what's the problem? No. I think just the system in general is the issue. Just the violent nature of the communities is the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever is going on in the communities, besides Corona, because this has been an issue. Corona has exacerbated it, but it's been an issue. Right? Huh?
You say that right?
Exacerbated? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's the word.
No, I know it's a word. I don't know if you said it right.
Exacerbated? I think that's the word.
Okay.
I hope it is.
Me too.
I hope it is. But I think that because Corona has caused people to lose their jobs, being forced to stay home.
Yep.
And as somebody who's on unemployment,
you got a lot of time in your hands, don't you?
It's not even that. It's more of, it's not an easy process to get on it at some points, because if you don't, because you can't just call them and be like, yo, what am I supposed to do? You call them and you're on hold for an hour and then it'll click off. So you have to call them again. And it's like, for somebody who is in a good position like me, like in a better position than some people, you know what I'm saying? That's not, I can afford to wait on them to get their shit together. I have money saved up.
Not others.
Yeah, like other people, it's like, I can imagine if you like are struggling, you don't really know how like an internet portal works. You know what I'm saying? Like, you trying to talk to somebody on the phone, you can't get in contact with them, so you're broke. I can understand how that turns into just like record violence, record crimes. I can see how that happens.
So back to your comment about looters controlling the city.
That's what the mayor said.
That's what the mayor said.
Yeah, I'm quoting her directly. She said that. Yeah. She said we will not let looters control our city.
I feel like is that in direct response to what happened last weekend?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for shining your light where you did, but my kind of focus on the Chicago violence.
But it's been an issue. The violence itself has been an issue.
That's fine.
Besides the looting and stuff. The looting happened because a cop, I forgot what exactly he did, but he shot.
That's what I'm trying to talk about.
Right. That's why the protest
find an article that says a cop shot someone in Chicago, please and thank you.
I got you.
Last weekend.
Let me see.
Or even in the time.
No, I had it open on the Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal.
Please do.
It.
I would like to.
And look, that is the crux. That is the crux of the protest.
I understand
no doubt. But what a lot of people would say, and what I won't agree with per se, but I get what they're saying is, okay, police brutality is a problem. Are the 400 and so people who have been killed by not police, by black on black crime, is that not a problem?
I want you to find that article before you finish this. And if you look
at just the number of people who are killed by police in Chicago compared to the number of people killed by...
I want you to find that article before you finish this statement.
I got you. Hold on. Because I read most of it.
All right, go ahead. I just want confirmation that a cop did shoot at someone.
He did. Absolutely.
Or whatever. Before I continue this.
Give me a second.
Go ahead. Take your time. I got all of it.
So the article says, this is the quote, Wall Street Journal, Chicago prepares for protests, more unrest, written by Joe Barrett. And what I saw in this article that was, what you want to see.
What's the date?
15th.
15th.
The 14th.
I'm about to say.
This month.
All right.
So tensions in the city have been high since last Sunday when police wounded a man they say fired at them, triggering protests on the South Side. Later that night, a spree of looting filled by social media posts struck business districts across the city. So, yes, these protests tend to happen.
All right. I just want a confirmation that was an incident that led to that.
These protests tend to happen after the police do some fuck shit.
That's true.
We are all well aware. This is par for the course.
Got you.
We have people protesting all that right now. That is, we're trying, like you're trying to, you see people like Black Lives Matter who aren't promoting looting and rioting. They're promoting peaceful protests.
I think there's two different sides of that fence. I think some people are promoting riots at all costs.
I'm saying Black Lives Matter is not.
Okay.
I'm saying that the people who want change is both sides.
It depends who's in charge of Black Lives Matter if we're putting ahead to that.
There's some names. I don't know their names.
Okay.
But it is an organization.
Like I said,
they have a website. You can see their hierarchy and all that. Like, Black Lives Matter is a lot of a hashtag, but it is an actual movement.
I believe that. I think there's people claiming Black Lives Matter that will have different opinions than what you're saying. You will not
see anything like that, like promoting looting on a blacklivesmatter.com website.
Okay.
From their organization, you're not going to see that.
Got you.
They hate that, actually, because it sours their name. I don't think that looting is an appropriate measure for protesting.
Got you.
That's never made any sense to me, if I'm being honest. Because if you're literally...
It only hurts your own community.
It's not... It's that... Definitely that. But more importantly, you're just asking... You're just giving the police a reason to come out.
Okay.
When you're peacefully protesting, if the police attack you, you become the heroes. You become the martyrs.
Sure.
When you're looting... You lose sympathy from a lot of people.
They're doing their job. You're not supposed to do that. It's that simple. Whether you're mad at the system or not.
I'm saying, like, when I see police arresting looters, I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm like, good. Because you're doing illegal shit. Like, if I owned a clothes store and you're looting my store.
Got you.
I'm going to want you arrested because you're stealing my shit.
That's logic.
I didn't shoot at the person.
I see where you're coming from.
Like, it's like your anger is misplaced.
I see where you're coming from.
Like, now, if you want to be violent, and I'm not promoting violence or anything, I prefer everybody peacefully protest. But if you were to say, try to break into the police headquarters or something like that, okay.
Gotcha.
At least you're still on message of fuck the police. The police are the ones who need to pay. When you're looting stores, what are you doing? Like, you're not making anybody pay.
I said no real... Right. I think no real positive ramifications really come for looting besides self-gain.
All you're doing is giving people like Trump a reason to send federal agents. Like, people were wilding out when he did that, remember? Like, you didn't? Okay. But you remember when he sent the people out? Like, it was... that people were like, really mad about that.
That's true. Was it Portland first and then...
It was both at the same time, I believe.
Oh. All right.
And people were mad, but look at it now, and it's like, okay...
So this is... I got a different...
I'm not saying he should have done that because I'm not a firm believer of the federal government sending troops into individual states that didn't ask for them.
Sure.
What I do think is maybe Chicago should have asked for them. I do think that.
I think it's a state-by-state perspective, and you're not in the position to make that decision. But that's just me talking.
I mean, I'm saying going by the failure of their government
they're not doing
in the past... It looks like they should have just taken.
They're not doing a good job. I believe it. I don't know if calling the state troopers in there is going to fix that problem. Not escalate a problem.
They acted like they didn't need it.
Okay.
And it's like, obviously you need something.
Okay.
Because
I don't know if it's that.
I don't know either. But to act like, because people were really upset. They were upset about Trump doing that.
I believe it.
And look, it's like, that's a good headline. Like, Trump does that. Everybody's mad. That's fine. Y'all, the city is horrible right now. Like, it's in the worst shape it's been in years.
I see you, like, Nick. I got a completely different perspective from you coming into this. I think you're looking at it at pretty a plain, numbers standpoint. Chicago does need help of some kind. The way Chicago itself has been going on for years. I mean, gun violence is not new to that area. It's been there as long as time can tell.
Right.
But like I said, I see your perspective. Chicago does need help. I don't know if what you're suggesting is what they need.
I'm not saying they need it. I'm saying you turned your face up to it and said that was wrong for him to do. And I'm like, you probably should have asked then. Like, maybe it's wrong for him to just do it and do it without asking you. But you haven't done anything to curtail this.
Like I said,
Trump looks like he was just being proactive.
I think it's easier to look at that situation from an outside perspective, for sure,
of course,
than it is an inside one. But that's just life. My perspective is going back to the incident where you said a man was, I guess, what do you want to say, recorded or not?
What, the guy who got shot?
The guy who is he dead? Or they say police shot at somebody, or somebody shot at
police.
Article
I saw said shot at, but
someone shot at the police, right?
He shot at the police. That's what the police claim.
Any confirmation of a name? Just a person?
Clicking up. It's linking to another
Go
article.
ahead, please do. I just want to get all my confirmations right before I start speculating.
Chicagoans still themselves for the possibility of more unrest after. Yeah, it doesn't say.
It doesn't say. It just says someone shot at the police. Police shot back.
Right.
Everyone's getting. My thing is the whole thing's kind of iffy. You feel me? That's just how. Look, you could say I'm capping right now. You could say however you want to feel. My inner senses, you feel me, is saying something's iffy about this whole thing. I feel like
iffy from what perspective?
Like someone started a story. Like you remember in the Michael Jordan documentary, where Michael Jordan created a narrative against, I think it was a Wizard player that like he talked trash to Michael Jordan in the game, and they had like a back to back. So Michael Jordan won the next game.
Yeah, a lot of basketball players do that,
paid the narrative, and then
Shaq did that, Kobe did that. Yeah.
My thing is, I think someone's created a narrative and used it to start a fire that would have never started without this narrative. I don't.
But who benefits from this? Who?
Republicans apparently, from trying to get the Democrats. I mean, you've made this whole argument how the Democrats in Chicago should have been asking for some help from someone, some place, something, and the Republicans, I believe you just said earlier, have been trying to pinpoint it to make it like the Democrats aren't running shit.
But see, I'm not saying the Democrats. I'm saying the Chicago politicians,
which happen to be
Democrat. But I don't think that they're what they believe in as far as Democrats have to do with the city being in shambles.
I didn't say that.
I'm saying,
but the people in charge are
Democrat,
and the people who want them out are.
What the Republicans? Oh yeah, the Republicans, because
you
that's just
the question.
That's
how it works. And I personally believe,
but that doesn't explain the violence.
Someone is the violence.
That doesn't explain all the shootings. It doesn't explain.
You're getting off topic, Nick. You know where I'm at.
It's all the same topic.
You're not coming with me. You're veering off.
No,
that's a thing.
That's a
thing. That's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
There is a problem in Chicago. The people in charge have been Democratic. Have they led to their problem? They probably assisted. Nonetheless, maybe created it. We can get in that at a different time.
I'm not saying they created or they
fueled the fire.
I'm saying that they are not helping.
They are not fixing the problem. Yeah, I can agree with that completely.
I'm not saying their policies.
I can agree with that completely.
I don't think Democratic policies lead to more violence.
You're still veering off, Nick. Come back to where I am. I'm saying someone is trying to fan this fire even higher.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? No. You think it's not weird that there's no like I said, you haven't found it.
There's always something.
You haven't found something in that one article. That's just that one article. But I challenge someone to find this quote unquote person that shot at the police and caused this issues and caused whatever.
You're saying that the Republicans caused people to loot? Wait, what are you saying?
I'm saying the incident that has caused this rioted and looting has somehow been scripted, manifested by something, inside job, whatever. That's just me. I think it's some
scripted
iffy
by
thing.
Who?
Whoever you want to input.
What do the Republicans have to do with people protesting?
I'm giving you a side.
I think if anybody, the people who want to loot and protest are the people who flipped this script. They're the ones who took this.
You don't remember
happening. I'm saying this happening. This shooting, whatever it is, they're the ones who took it and said, we're going to loot places.
You don't remember the riots in Minnesota where they found out it was actually a lot of white supremacist people were going to Minnesota and starting, these quote unquote riots and doing a lot of the looting? You don't recall that?
There was two sides doing the same thing. Like there was a lot of people on.
Why would they be doing that?
There were a lot of people who were like Antifa who were doing the same thing.
Why would they be doing that? Why would you feel me? Why white supremacist people go to Minnesota and add fuel to the fire? Why would they do that?
What I would argue is, in a lot of protests, you're going to have bad actors. You're going to have bad actors, bad apples, who are not there for the greater good. They're just there to cause shit. I feel like
why would they do that, Nick?
Protest, because they're not on the same side. But I'm saying you can't single out Chicago like it's all special. In most,
this is the situation we're talking about.
In most protests, that's probably the case. It's not special because it's not some special situation because it's happening in Chicago.
I understand this probably could happen if some black kid actually got shot by a cop, and the same exact situation would have happened. It would have. I'm not going to say that it didn't. Right. I'm saying this situation is so iffy to me that there isn't enough concrete details where I'm like, someone knew if this story was to get out how it did, the people of Chicago were going to react this way. and it wasn't going to take much to push that. I think I've seen that trend.
But
I don't like what
I've seen reported doesn't seem like enough to be like get people out. I don't see
it didn't take much, Nick, did it?
I feel that when people saw what happened or heard what happened, they had a natural reaction and wanted to protest. And I feel
would you say what happened this last weekend was really protesting?
I'd say there were protests. Not all of them were protests, but they're having actual protests.
That happened. There was a standoff between police and a lot of Chicago citizens.
Whenever we talk about looting and stuff, it's always usually less than the actual protesting.
All right, I'm gonna go back to my original statement.
Like protesting in general is usually what's usually happening, and then the looters are the ones who get the most attention.
I'm going back to my original statement with I think something iffy is going down in Chicago where someone is trying to paint a worse picture. Like I said, Chicago's got its problems. There's problems there. I think someone is trying to paint this fire to be worse than what it actually is, and it's starting to point some fingers. Because like I said, you went on a whole narrative earlier about how the Democratic people in Chicago that are running the place aren't doing jack shit to help.
What I did was paint the entire picture.
Go ahead, if that's what you want to make it seem.
Because I feel that there is trying to be this picture taking place of Chicago. This is the only problem that's facing Chicago right now. Well, I'm like, there are a whole list of problems in Chicago. Okay. This is just the tip of the iceberg and the result of all the other problems going on that a lot of people are not trying to address. They're trying to address one issue.
That's not false.
And when you try to address one issue, it's like you're trying to hide all the other issues that are so just like being put to the back burner, but are low key an epidemic.
Just singling out one event, just one, that happened last weekend that I think is being framed to look like something it's not. The issue in Chicago isn't going anywhere anytime soon, in my opinion. I think this is a rooted issue that's going to take a while to fix.
Is it fixable? That's a question. That's a serious question.
That is something we will not know till the end comes, in my opinion.
Like, it seems like it gets worse. It's literally getting worse.
You will never know if something's fixable till it's fixed.
And I think that situations like this where people are looting and protesting don't help the situation
at all.
It's doing a disservice.
Well, protesting, I think, is helping, but it depends on what you feel about what a protest really is.
Right.
And what
and look, I have no problem with people protesting at all. Like, if you want to protest, even if you're protesting in a not so peaceful way, I'm not going to say I support it, but I don't have as much of an issue with it as looting. Mm-hmm. Looting is just death. Mm-hmm. Like, it's literally that's a literal crime. Mm-hmm. And it's only like, it's the only one where it's like it literally does nothing to the cause.
I don't see any real, besides self-gain, no real benefit.
It's all about self-gain.
It is.
So I don't understand.
Protesting not so much, but.
And so that's why when I go to talking about all the violence in Chicago,
like I said, I think
I paint the picture that Chicago on multiple levels is failing.
I think you attacked the topic.
And I'm not saying that because they have Democratic governors not governors. Democratic just politicians in general, that's the reason why they're like this. I'm saying that these governors, these senators, these congresspeople, they are not doing a good job.
Okay.
You can replace them with some other Democrats. You can replace them with some Republicans.
Yep.
Whatever. This group of people is not doing a good job.
I hear that loud and clear.
That's all I'm saying. And I'm just trying to paint the picture because I don't like it when Republicans and people on that side of the aisle say, oh, it's a Democrat-run city. That's why. It's just like, that's really simple. That's a really simple way to look at it.
Okay.
But also, you can't just say, oh, it's just these, it's just these protests. It's just this year. It's like, no, it's not just this year. It's been bad. Mm-hmm. It's gotten worse this year. But there's so many issues, and I feel like they bleed into each other.
I think you came into this topic attacking a bigger scope than I was planning to attack.
I got you.
And I definitely see your angle, and you definitely came in here ready to argue a certain point.
I'm definitely not trying to argue because I see your perspective.
Not with me. You came in here to argue a point that neither me nor you actually made, but you came at it with a good swing, in my opinion. I think you made a valid point. Where I was coming from was this singular incident in Chicago last weekend, which I think some smoke's in the ashes. You feel me? But
well, let me ask you, like, how do you feel about all these protests? Like, what is your opinion on everything going on in Chicago in the past week? Or
looting wise, or
let's
just
say even 2 weeks. Give it 2 weeks.
The past 2. I know there was
because it started when Trump sent the agents.
You think that's when it started? I think it started when FDG Ducks got killed by a rival gang.
I think that was after.
No, that was literally 2 weeks ago. Not even.
Then Trump did it 2 weeks ago. Then
look, man. So. Once that happened,
I think Trump did that in like late July.
They had to put out a warning to stay inside because rival gangs was finna go at it. I was like, damn, Chicago back at it again. And Trump said some shit. Then you hear this governor saying some shit. This is what I'll say. I feel like Chicago has problems. That's not false. I think a lot of people know that Chicago is a hot topic right now, and motherfuckers are gonna do whatever it takes to create whatever headlines they'd like to see next.
Right.
And whether you're on the Republican side of things, Democratic side of things, people in power are making plays.
Right.
Whether we like to acknowledge it, pretend like it does happen, pretend like it don't happen. I think some iffy shit going up. But like I said, people shouldn't ignore the true issues in Chicago. There's lots of them. That's a whole topic. We go on for hours about that.
I just want to put things in perspective.
That's a weird thing to, I guess, tack. But I mean, I guess if you don't know, I just want people
to understand like these things in numbers and just understand like the issue, like the problem of gun violence in Chicago. Like,
I guess I was trying to go at one incident.
In other cities, I don't think gun violence is the main issue at hand. You know what I'm saying?
Depends on your city.
Yeah, in some cities like police brutality. Like in Baltimore, for example.
Yeah.
Baltimore had a whole crooked police department. That's the main issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You could look at the gun violence, but their police department was horrible.
Like I said, one issue, big scope.
Like in general, in the U.S., 586 people have been shot and killed by the police.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. That's a crazy amount.
I think that's only crazy when you compare it to the rest of the world. Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's a pretty norm
insane.
Here. It's been a problem for decades.
400 and what was it?
You just said it.
I said it before, but let me make sure I have the right number. 432 people were killed in Chicago due to gun violence. It's not as high as the police brutality death in general.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's a high number.
These aren't low numbers.
These are high numbers. Like, and look, we can sit there and say the police brutality is an issue. It absolutely is.
Mm-hmm.
But to the folks in Chicago, you have multiple issues going on right now. You need to address all of your issues, not just because you getting police brutality in Chicago under control
mm-hmm.
still means that 432 people are dying.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? It's like we need to fight all the battles, not just the ones that sound sexy.
Do you think it's possible to fight all your wars at once?
I think you can do things strategically to
answer my question, Nick.
Yes, I do think.
You think you can fight multiple wars at once?
Yes.
I think you're begging to lose a war too.
I think as a city, you can't afford to just focus on one thing at a time. Because when you focus on one thing at a time, the other issues lose. I think you have to attack all the issues.
That's a grand possibility.
You got to attack all the issues strategically.
I will say,
and periodically.
It's easier to attack the police brutality thing than it is to attack.
It's sexier to do because you literally have.
You have other synonyms, Nick.
No, I like that one.
I
absolutely like that one. But when you attack the police, that's easy to do.
It is. It's easier to do.
You're painting the police as the antagonist of the situation.
There's a whole storyline for it.
It's different when you're talking about gun violence because it's literally you're attacking people you know,
mm-hmm.
people you like, you know. It's weird. It's a different angle because it's almost like you're attacking yourself.
I think it's a little much for you to demand that they also attack their black on black violence problem as well. If you're going to attack your police brutality problem, why won't you attack this one? I think you're making the same arguments a lot of Republicans make when they say, hey, yeah, police brutality is a problem, but look at these black on black crime numbers.
What I'm saying is, let's stop giving them that stupid talking point and let's actually try to fix things.
Like I said,
instead of just focusing everything on police brutality when there are other issues.
I think
stop giving them that out.
It's way easier to say.
Because even though it's an out and it's a Republican talking point, it's not wrong.
It's not unvalid.
It isn't. It is valid. It's a crutch. And that's ignoring the police brutality.
Like I said, it's much easier to make this argument from the outside.
Like I think they're doing the exact opposite of what the other side's doing. Of course,
mm-hmm.
It's like the other side's like police brutality is the issue. They're like, no, the gun violence is the issue.
Uh-huh.
I'm sitting here like, looking both like they're both issues.
I hear you.
Like they're absolutely both issues. Like why are we ignoring one for the other?
I believe personally,
you're ignoring it because it's putting onus on the police, and you're ignoring it because
it's easier to put this on the
like
this
that's
is
all. I'm trying to attack it from literally. I don't try to do this all the time, but I'm trying to attack it from the center. I'm looking at both sides. Like what the?
This
fuck
is
are
how
y'all
I put
doing?
this situation. Black on black crime is a product of environments, if you will.
Absolutely.
It's genuinely one of those,
and that's due to history.
And that's the situation that neither me nor you can change at this moment.
Right.
I think the way this country is set up and how we would like it to be run, the police brutality thing needs to change yesterday. Black on black crime also needs to change yesterday, but I'd rather have less problems with the people who are supposed to be protecting me than my neighbor, if that makes sense.
And I agree. I absolutely agree. There should be a different onus on police because their job literally puts them on a mantle.
And I hear you loud and clear when I hear you say black on black crime is a problem that is ignored. It's much easier to ignore the elephant in the room when your own enemy is your brother, quote unquote.
Exactly. And that's the one that for me, like, I don't know anybody that's been killed by the police.
Mm-hmm.
I have cousins who were killed by other black men.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, like when I see that, I'm just like, that part hits home to me. Like I've had that affect me from a friend perspective, from a family perspective. I've never had I never had a police officer kill a friend or anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's never happened. Maybe I would feel differently.
Like I said, I think it's empathy and perspective.
I feel like everybody comes from a bias, and everybody should be able to understand what their bias is. I come from the biases. I've seen cousins who were good people who were killed because they had some money in their pocket.
Look, man, empathy and perspective. I hear you loud and clear. Like I said, you're gonna have to empathize with the people who do and do not understand your perspective. And you're also going to have to look at perspective itself when it comes to just, they're going to feel their type of way because of their story, like you feel your type of way because of your story. So you feel me? It's a beautiful world. We can argue topics for years. But
I think we're pretty much on the same page. I think that we are coming at it from different perspectives.
Like I said, I came at this topic different than you did. I'm looking at it from more of a
grand scape.
Like
I'm
I
looking
said,
at it from more of a grand.
I came at this
topic. We
topic.
didn't even talk about it before.
We did. We knew we were going to talk about it.
We're going to talk about Chicago violence.
Like I said,
and I said we're going to talk about all of it.
You definitely say you're going to mention the stats, but I was like, all right, that's weird. I'm just trying to talk about this last weekend.
Because I wanted to put everything in perspective.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout outs to Chicago. I feel like you feel passionate about that topic, and I think a lot of people would appreciate you putting those numbers out there because it's not talked about.
Because I hope that we can solve the police brutality issue. Hell, I wouldn't even mind if it's the first one they solve.
That's what it's looking like.
I wouldn't mind that, but don't forget about the other.
It would be very easy to. I'll tell you that right now.
Because I feel like solving the police brutality issue is a lot easier than solving the other issue.
It is.
So if you want to get the easy one out the way, go ahead.
It's funny because
don't forget.
I actually prefer to get the hard things out the way than the easy things.
And I agree with you.
But we're not. We're not in this situation, Nick. There's a reason why we're sitting here having this conversation.
And it's going to be interesting how they solve it, if they solve it.
Like I said, you never know something is fixable until you fix it.
I truly believe that if you elect some Republicans in there, shit's gonna happen.
It might be worse.
You're not changing the mindset of people.
Do you think it can get worse?
Because you got an R next to your name, it's gonna change the perspective of people.
Do you think it can get worse if we are Republican people?
Oh, hell yeah. I think it can get worse. I think to me, stuff like that, it doesn't matter if you have a D or R.
It could just get worse.
Happen.
Well, I'm happy you feel that way.
That's gonna happen. That's just like some shit that's some partisan shit to make it like put a boogeyman against somebody's name.
Got you.
No, like it's gonna be an issue. Anybody, it could be a black person, a white person, Indian person, you know what I'm saying? Republican, Democrat,
green, purple, what's up?
Saying you could be Barney, you could be Oscar.
All right.
You said green and purple, nigga.
Yeah, that's on you though.
He said green and purple.
That's on you though.
Those are Joker colors, actually.
Next topic, man.
This school shit has been kind of weighing on me a little bit.
Go on a little more detail.
Look, man, I'm so happy that we're out of school.
Hey, man, we could be right back in it. There's people doing an online master's degree as we speak. Boy, put in that work.
I did that.
See?
Look, doing an online master's degree is different from doing college online.
I believe it.
It's different.
I believe it.
It's different, bro. Like college, bro, think about all the fun we had in college.
I had a lot of fun.
That's gone. That's gone when you're doing online.
Well, I mean, it depends on the environment you're in. I know a lot of people who still are in their respective location of university, but doing it online.
Imagine if you are a freshman.
Got you.
And it's like, because what do you mean? Like, they're not.
I know people with apartments. I'll say they're not on-campus students.
That's not freshmen. It's usually not sophomores.
I didn't know we were already just.
I'm saying, but that's a lot of kids, though. Like, for the most part, kids are not.
I'm thinking college students in general. You just simply branched out the freshmen.
What I'm saying is college students in general are probably not. Like, you're not in an apartment.
I think a quality amount of them, I would say even over probably 70% of them are probably at their with their parents, per se, with whatever the guardian is, wherever they are. But I think a lot of them own apartments, whatever, they're still in their stud location they would be for the school year.
We talking 70%? You said 70%?
I think 70% of that home. There's a 30% that are in their apartment per se, that are living with a friend. There's a lot of international students that can't go home, can't live on campus. Well, you fucking with your mic, nigga? What's going on?
It fell. I don't know what the fuck. But
oh God, you loud. Lean back, nigga.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like 70% is a lot of fucking kids.
That is a good number.
Like and I wouldn't even put it at 30%, bro.
It could be 25.
I don't think 30% of kids have apartments.
I think you should talk to more college.
30% because
I think you should talk to more college kids.
Think about
in the United States.
Think about Hampton just in general. Like, I wouldn't say 30% of people lived in the harbors. I don't think 30%.
Nigga, what do you? Niggas live outside the harbors.
But I'm saying, like, even off campus.
Got you.
The vast majority of kids live in the dorms.
I would say
most schools.
If we're just talking Hampton University, it's 80-20, and I think a lot of them are still in the apartment. I think a good amount have went back to their apartments.
I'm with you at 80-20. That's the vast majority.
I'd say just for Hampton, but you gotta look at a national level. You know how many kids that live out of the state from wherever they're.
But why would you? Why would a parent do that? That makes no sense.
That's
what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the majority of kids.
You're not a parent. Home. Two, that's between the parent. Oh no,
it's fine. It's still recording.
Oh, good. But I said, yeah.
It's just like,
good God, that's weird. One, you're not a parent.
It's not used
to it. That's between a parent and child relationship. Some children don't want to be stuck in their house for whatever. If you don't really care about coronavirus that much, and your kid says, "Hey, I want to go back to my apartment," you feel me, to do my online classes, I'm gonna be there for however months. If you don't care, you're gonna let them go. I know a quality amount of people right now aren't with their parents doing.
Those are the people who are financially fine. There are a lot of kids who are not that way,
and there's a lot of kids who are.
I'd venture to say most of them are not. The vast majority are not, like, in a position where it's like the parent can just, we can pay rent somewhere else.
A lot of well-endowed colleges.
We can pay rent at a school you're not even about to really go to. You know, like, I feel like for the most part, people are.
You gotta open your perspective up, my G.
And we're in a basically depression, a recession right now.
You gotta open your perspective up, my G.
No,
I think there's a lot of sides to a coin, my G.
Well, I'm saying I didn't say everybody. I said you even said 80-20, 70-30. Like, that's a lot.
That is
a lot. And I think that if I was in school, like, I would want to be, in my apartment and shit. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if my mom would be rocking with that.
That's between you and your parent. Y'all relationship is different than others, bro.
I feel like a lot of parents are not gonna be rocking with that. Like, I'm gonna send you over here for what?
You're not a parent, bro.
But I'm saying, but what reason would you send your kid back?
That is the relationship between you and your child.
But I'm saying, you're saying it's a lot of kids. I'm saying, why would it be a lot of kids?
If they don't have to give you a reason, why do I?
Because you said it. Because that was your point.
They don't have to give you a reason, Nick. If they want,
what I'm saying, what I'm asking you is,
why would
makes
even
you
possess
see?
them?
What makes
if the child wants to go?
No. What I'm asking you is, what impression do you have that makes you feel that most parents are going to make that decision for their kid? Like,
reality, it's happening right now. College is starting, and a lot of kids are going back to UVA right now. Is still doing in-person classes. A lot of these kids
besides
are going.
The in-person, I'm saying if your school is not taking place in class, it's online. Why would you send your kid back? I'm saying, and what are you saying? Why would they send their kid back?
Because the kid wants to go, and if they don't have any real vouch against it, you're just doing it to spite the child at that point.
What I'm saying is, you send a kid to school and get them their own apartment because they're at school. If they're not at school, why would you do that? Like,
if this is saying,
like, what is the benefit of doing that?
This is saying they don't have their own apartment already, or
when a lot of people are struggling financially because of the ongoing pandemic and depression. Like, if you're I'm saying there's a lot of factors as to why a parent's not going to
If you
just
can
spend willy
still-
nilly on an apartment that a kid really doesn't need right now.
If you can still afford to pay for that apartment as you've been doing, nothing, like I said, you're saying a lot of people in a recession lost jobs. I believe that. A lot of people still have their jobs. But
That's true.
if you can still afford to, if you were already planning to get your kid an apartment, you feel me? They was gonna go, on next semester and do what they was gonna do. It was already all planned out. The apartment's already set up and picked up and played. The kid
I'm saying
wants
for
to go.
those people, yes, but that's not the case. Some people set that shit up the month of. Like some people do set it up months in advance. That's not the case.
I'm
for
not
everybody.
arguing with you. I'm not arguing with you at all. I'm saying there's a good amount of people still going to these apartments just to do online classes. They exist, Nick. Don't think they don't.
I mean, I think we're saying the same thing, just because I'm saying
You
there
just
are people.
argumentative, Nikki.
No,
Continue with what
You
you
started
saying.
the argument, nigga.
I literally
You
gave you
started
numbers.
the argument, nigga.
I literally
I'm
gave
saying-
you the numbers. You agreed, and then you made some different point. And I said, bro, where you going with this?
I said, why would you send your kid to school? And then that's when the argument happened.
It's happening. What do you want me to tell you? It's a literal thing in reality
But
that's
I-
happening.
but
If you don't understand it, that's on you, Nick.
I think he has misunderstood what I was saying.
Go ahead.
Because I was saying that it's happening. No one's arguing that.
Uh-huh.
I'm saying it doesn't make sense.
To you?
Okay, but I didn't say like it's, this has to be done my way.
Uh-huh.
I'm saying a lot of parents are probably going to not do that.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. But then you're like, nah, you're going to do it because
I was like, why are you making it sound like it's a total left field thing?
I didn't say anything you didn't say. I'm just saying.
You said it doesn't make sense. I said
It doesn't make sense to me. That's true.
Okay.
Don't not leave that point.
I think
it
you're
doesn't make
wrong.
sense
Like,
to
that
me.
doesn't make sense. I say you're
It doesn't
stretched.
make sense.
Like,
How does it make sense?
I think that's
How
not
does
that
it
big
make
of a
sense
deal.
to if you live let's say if I live in Maryland
It's probably
and I
financially
go
smarter.
to Hampton and it's an online courses where I do not have to be in class at Hampton. Financially, how does that make sense?
It's financially smarter for you not to do that.
That's the only point
If
I was making.
if that's the sense
only
you're referring
point I was
to,
making.
I think you gotta look at it.
Well, that's the only point I was
relationship
making, though.
aspect. I think you gotta look at-
Relationship, no one's
between
at
you and the
school.
child.
Okay, but I'm saying, from an individual, anecdotal basis, yes,
If
you're
you're
right.
looking at the
But I'm
numbers-
saying, in a broad sense, from a financial standpoint, it doesn't make sense to do that.
You should probably put that in first.
That's why I said that from jump.
You said it doesn't make sense. I
It
ain't hear no
does, and it
financial.
doesn't.
This is the first time I'm hearing you saying it from a financial sense, Nick.
I thought it was implied.
Nigga, that's your own fault for assuming you started this. How did you start this podcast?
An apartment costs money.
How did you start this podcast? Don't assume. And now you
By-
are assuming
no.
things are implied.
Whoa,
Look at you.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
I was talking about something specific that
Good.
we'll get to later.
Fuck off,
But
Nick. That's what I say to you.
What I'm saying
They ain't
is,
gonna make me seem like I'm the right guy.
it doesn't make financial sense
Y'all
to
hear this
send
shit?
your kid to school
Nonsense.
when there ain't nobody else at school.
All right,
That's all I was saying.
You ain't got
start
the money
arguing,
like that.
and you start arguing. That was you.
nigga,
That
you
was
did not
you.
put
That was
financially
you.
in your statement. You
Did
said
you?
it.
Did
You're
you
sitting here
not?
talking
Whoa,
about-
whoa.
No, Nick, you're sitting here saying
When I stated what I stated, did you not start the argument?
Nick,
Because I wasn't trying to get into
Nick,
argument about it.
you said you were literally sitting in your chair saying that doesn't make sense to me. How can you send your kid to college when he's not even gonna be going to school like that? I said, how are you gonna say it makes zero sense to you, bro? You didn't say financially it didn't make any sense to you. You said it didn't make sense. Period.
It didn't make sense. And the financial piece is the biggest portion of why it doesn't make sense. And I explained to you it's because of money. I said the finance piece later, but I explained to you it's because of the money.
My
you should have
argument.
assumed then that I was talking financials.
Why would I assume? You just told me not to when we started this podcast.
I told you. There's certain things you have to assume.
No, nigga, don't assume anything in life. That's what I'm telling you. Fuck Nick.
You should assume stuff in conversations though.
Fuck that.
Like
that's how you get fucked up. Don't make assumptions, yo.
No, because I clearly said that it was a financial piece.
Clearly mentioned later. That's what you should have said.
I said the word financial later, but I said from the start it doesn't make sense money wise to do that.
Yeah, I think.
Like I would have look, my mom probably would have made it not send me to school, but wouldn't because of the money. It would be because she fundamentally doesn't believe I should be at school.
And that is between you and your parent.
You haven't told me why it makes sense though. You throughout all this, you never told me.
If your kid wants to go and you're not
that's
against
not
the
sense.
issue,
That's just a want. Like that's not sense.
If there's no negative value to sending your kid, if you truly believe that, then let the kid go. There's no negative. The kid's gonna be happy. You're gonna be fine. Your kid gonna be out your house. You ain't got to buy no groceries. It's taking care of yourself.
what I'm saying is that's not college. College is going to classes. That's what college is for, not for all that other shit. That other shit is a bonus.
There is a lot of people who go into quote unquote college and
because
never step foot in the classroom.
Only people you are addressing are the people who are living out of school or who live off campus. That's a small amount of people in a lot of schools. The majority of people live on campus.
It ranges
That's
from
what I'm
whatever
saying.
school
Like,
you're talking
if you
about,
live,
bro.
if you live on campus,
Uh-huh.
where are you about to go? You about to get an apartment for this kid?
I think a lot of people who were already having their kids live on campus, kids aren't going nowhere. They're staying at the crib. I'm saying there's kids
that was my point. I'm saying the majority of parents are not just going to get their kids apartments because they want to be in school if they already weren't going to have an apartment.
Okay.
That's my whole point. I'm like, you're talking about a very small amount of kids. You're not talking about that. You're talking about a very finite amount of kids.
I was saying that from the beginning. I'm talking about
kids in general.
I was saying that from the beginning, Nick.
So that's why we're on the same page. You just want to argue.
No, don't paint me as the bad guy here.
You are.
Don't do that.
No, you are the bad guy. No, you are the bad guy.
You literally said that makes no sense to me. I said, Nick, that's wild for you to say that makes zero sense. You're not a parent, so I don't understand how you're going to go on the parent relationship thing.
You think it doesn't make sense that the vast majority of parents wouldn't want to send their kids to an apartment?
You know what I'm saying? I've said this like 3 times already. I've said this like 3 times. If you've already got a kid that was planning to go have an apartment at the university, whatever they're going to be off campus living, like we said.
You put all these parameters on. I didn't put all the parameters.
I've said this already.
You put those parameters. I said kids and parents in general. I think it's stupid.
I put those parameters up. You said that doesn't make sense. You said make it make sense. You literally said make that make sense to me. And I said I don't even have to. The parents are doing it. You don't have to tell them it doesn't make sense to you for them to make that decision. I thought you were talking about kids
in general.
You assumed.
You
assumed.
I did.
Fuck that. Next topic.
No, we still on this topic. We still got plenty more to talk about.
What are we going to talk about? NCAA?
Yeah, that's the whole reson why you want to talk about this, young.
Then you shouldn't have started there.
Nigga, you started arguing about it.
Don't put me as the bad guy, nigga. You assumed, and when I caught
it all started from your assumption that I was talking about exactly the kids that you were talking about.
Nick,
can we agree on that?
No, we cannot. We cannot. The problem is when you
do you think that I was starting the arguing with you about the kids that already had apartments? Because that was not the case.
I literally said I don't know how you can say it doesn't make sense, and that's why I feel like the argument
in
started.
General to just get an apartment in college. It doesn't in general. Is
we
what I'm
talked
saying.
About the 70-30 of the people that are on campus, right? And not on campus. And I said, those off-campus kids, a good amount of them are still going back to school. And he said, that doesn't make sense to me. Why would you send your kid back to school? And I literally had to run this whole conversation back like 3 times.
I don't think that's
having that.
I don't think that's how it works. I can't wait. I can't wait to listen to this over again because that's not what was going on.
You got a horrible memory, Nick.
I was talking from a broad perspective.
You assumed multiple.
You narrowed it down to this.
You knew I did.
10, 20%
You
of
knew I
kids.
did when I said 80, 20, 70, 30. Did you not? Or did you forget that?
But you said that, well, you can just get an apartment. And I'm like, no, it's not the case. And what was the argument? I literally said the majority of kids can't do that. You remember? Do you remember when I said that? Yes or no?
I heard you say that, Nick.
That's my. So you at that point should have inferred that I'm talking about the vast majority of kids. Because I'm.
Why would I infer?
Because from the jump, I was talking about the vast majority of kids. From the jump, I was talking about.
So when I branched off to the little percentage,
you narrowed it down.
When I branched off to the little percentage, when did you tell me you was going back?
I didn't know till later on in the conversation that you branched it off.
When I said 70-30, you even agreed with me, or did you forget that?
I did. So, I 100% agree with you on that. So I 100% agree with you on that.
And then dropped it and left.
And then you went to 80-20 for Hampton. Yes. I was like, yes, that makes sense.
And then you went back to the broad majority.
But then you started saying, okay, you can just go to school and it's like you just get an apartment. And I'm like, that's not the case for the majority of kids.
When did you think I stopped talking about the 30-20?
After we established that we agreed with
I never stopped talking about them.
See, that's the main thing. That's the main thing.
Let's agree that there was miscommunication.
I think it's understandable from both our perspectives.
I didn't stop talking about them.
Because I didn't know you stopped talking. I thought you literally stopped and we were getting back to the topic at hand.
Assumed.
I did. Of course I did.
All right, that's why I'm saying this is on you.
And you assumed that we were
I never left. You left, not me.
You branched it off into that. And I was like, all right, Point well made. Let's get back to the point at hand.
Never established that. I'm gonna tell you right now, there was never a let's get back. It was kind of you jump back and me kind of where are we going with this?
I didn't think it had to be said.
Fuck you. That's what's your fault.
I thought you had it.
Another assumption, dude.
I thought we were here.
We are not.
I thought we were here.
We're not
but
there.
bro, let's get back to this football shit, bro. Because
I can't wait to run this back.
I can't wait either. Because I feel like we're neither one of us are wrong. Because I think we both were literally just making our individual points.
You didn't care for what I had to say, Nick,
and you didn't care for what I had to say. You moved on. But you didn't care for what I had to say either.
That's because you left me without letting me finish what I had to say.
I think that we both were trying to get our own perspectives out.
You left me, Nick.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Dang.
All right, NCAA, where we at?
Anyways, I mean, I think that for me,
that was a real argument about an argument. Fuck.
I'm saying. It's going to be funny hearing this back, low-key, because I'm interested to see who fucked up first.
It's definitely you. I stayed on
one topic. No, I stamp at you. I stamp at you. I absolutely stamp at you. But if it's me, I will call you and let you know it was me. I'll run this back.
I'll explain to you right now why it's you. Because you assumed that I stopped talking about something before I did. That's all I'm going to say.
My thing is, I just stated an opinion. And you just like attacked me like, yo, how could you feel that way? I'm like, young.
All right. I get it. I most definitely called your opinion.
Yeah,
I definitely called your opinion.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, let me defend what I'm saying. I went deep into what I was saying, which was the majority of kids don't have that luxury.
And that's where we got lost, where I was saying, you're talking about the 30-20% still? Because that's whack. I think you're whack.
We never established. We both assumed that we were on the same page. We both assumed.
Don't say we both.
No,
I never left.
No.
You agree with me.
You took the conversation.
Hear me out.
You took the conversation there.
Nick, you don't take a conversation?
You took the conversation there. You assumed we'd stay there. I assumed that we were going to go back to what we were originally talking about.
I don't think I'm wrong for assuming because you agreed with me.
I don't think I'm wrong for assuming either.
Nick, you agreed with me and I was like, all right, let me finish this point off. You thought I was done.
And then I stated that it was stupid. I'm like, you're like, no, it's not. And I'm like, all right, why is it not? I said, why wasn't? I'm like, well, why is it not stupid?
And I think I came off with a great point, and then we got it back.
And look, I'm not saying from the perspective.
God.
Look, from the perspective from the limited scope that you put it in, I agree with what you're saying.
Right, cool, that's great.
I agree with what you're saying.
So happy we had
but from a broad point of view, I was like, no. That's where I was the whole time. Like from a broad perspective, Nana, you cannot expect niggas to all get apart.
That was whack. That was whack. All right, so I can see where you're coming from now. I 100% see that. All I'm saying is, it's your fault for assuming I stopped talking about that. You assumed.
And it's your fault for not. And it's your fault for calling my opinion whack when I think my opinion was still solid.
Your opinion was valid. We weren't talking about the same thing.
But I'm saying the argument happened when you called my opinion whack. Because when you called my opinion whack, I was like, all right, I need to correct you why I don't think it's not.
I'm gonna tell you though, it's your fault for what you did.
I'm gonna tell you it's your fault because you're not.
Nigga.
Absolutely, because you're not.
Hey, bro.
Nothing more, nothing less.
I could get into an argumentative state. You feel me? I've never been against.
Oh really? Oh really? I didn't know that.
If you say this shit is on you, when I know it's not. But like I said, we've already agreed to disagree. It's funny that you think it's my fault. Because
what I will say, I think it's on both of us. I think it's on both of us because we both assumed in different places in the argument.
Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, 75-25.
Oh hell!
This is 75 years.
Hey, well, I guess I'm Bill Belichick then. I guess I'm Bill Belichick in this situation.
70% your fault. Got you.
I guess no, not fault.
This is 75%.
Nah, 75% on the right.
75% your fault. I'm telling you, dude.
We'll agree to disagree on that.
You're saying
I feel like we'll run this back and I know what he was talking about.
I already acknowledged that.
In general, though.
Oh, that is my fault.
You know what you're gonna say?
Go ahead. What's up?
I was capping.
That's the exact message. All right, bet.
But
come on, Nick.
As far as the NCAA goes, like, where are you at in terms of them like starting their season? Like, I think all the cancellations.
Everyone starting in spring is doing what you should do. You're playing it safe. You don't know what's gonna happen. You're a college football is probably the least necessary sport that needs to happen right now. These kids are supposed to be in quote unquote school, getting degrees.
Absolutely,
this is a sport.
I mean, that's all a technical thing, though. It's like they're supposed to be in school.
Hey, bro,
their
I'm not gonna do
degrees.
air quotes when we all know what the fuck we all went to college to do. Just because you play a sport don't mean
You went to school for a different reason than they went to school for the most part.
That's perfectly understandable. We all have our own reasons.
Like I am very iffy on that. I'm really very iffy on how they. We
both went to establishments that provide degrees. Whether or not you went there to get a degree, that's a separate project. But if you walk into the motherfucking Cheesecake Factory and get something other than cheesecake, you ain't fail going to Cheesecake Factory. But we all know what's at Cheesecake Factory, my G.
No cheesecake and food. Like right, you're trying to get cheesecake. They're trying to get food.
It's okay.
It's like college. Like we literally have a system where you go to, in basketball at least, you go to school for literally.
Basketball probably does it the worst. I'll say that right now.
Yeah, football at the very least to make you stay 3 years. But still, like if you
I think baseball does it the best. It's all 4 years and none. Get your degree or don't get it at all.
Agreed. But with football, they make you stay 3 years,
which I think is also pointless.
Yeah, you're not there for the degree. You're there to get your stock up so you can get drafted high. That's not possible.
Let's pretend like we don't make these athletes go to college for some reason, sure. Right. Because we all know we could have our own little G League and just let 18 to 22-year-olds.
God, I love that.
Thank you. We could all have 18 to 22-year-olds doing just fine, hooping. I haven't touched that once today.
Me neither.
I just want to put that
out there. Honestly, fans, it wasn't necessary, but I had to touch it because nobody had touched the pad all day.
So, I'm happy you did it, not me. Because I was told I had a problem, quote unquote.
You did? Oh, you do. But you apparently went to the doctor, got that taken care of.
Jesus Christ, you're dramatic.
I love the effort you put into this podcast. I love it.
Fuck off, Nick. I've said that so. That's my catchphrase. That's the we look. I don't get the title of these episodes.
Honestly, one day we might just call "Fuck You, Nick." One day, not today.
Fuck off, Nick. That's how I prefer it to be called.
This podcast is gonna be called "Nana Was Wrong" about about the beginning of our school opening conversation.
Imagine being an op, but you get to run the podcast. That's Nick's life.
I'm a dictator.
Like I was saying, fuck, what was I even saying? Sports, college football.
Right.
We send these kids to these universities because we want them to see them representing the schools that, most average men go to get their degrees, to have the normal life that we all chase, quote unquote, the American dream.
It's just a jersey.
It's just a jersey. So
it's just another team.
We're gonna go on the concept that people go to college to get degrees. That's what we're going with right now. These kids don't need to be playing college football for that degree to happen. It's not. They're not hand in hand.
But that's not the reason why they're in school.
What did I just say?
What I'm saying is we can't just ignore the fact that a lot of them are in school as a means to become a millionaire through getting drafted.
I didn't say cancel season. I said doing the right thing and moving into the spring.
We agree on that. Yeah, I agree with that. But I don't think schools on a whole are going to do that. I think certain leagues might do that. I think certain leagues might not do that.
I think right now you're gonna have to pull it up maybe, but we got the Big Ten, got the MAC.
Did they all? I thought some of them were canceled.
Some have agreed to postpone it. They haven't agreed. To actually have it.
And you know what? I am in favor of that. Postponing it until because I can't just say because here's my thing. I can't say spring. I can say when we have a handle on this.
We don't know.
Right.
You just postpone it and you wait for later.
Right.
That's one of those.
That was the right decision.
That's
postpone
how we should do this.
Until we have more information on how to better do this.
It's that simple in my opinion.
Because it's not as simple as having a bubble.
It's not.
Yeah, not everybody can be the NBA. We'll get to the NBA in a second.
Sure.
But that to me, like postponing it until we have more information on how to contain this, do this safely, that's the way to go.
I'm sorry. I'm still thinking how you think this is my fault.
It absolutely
Oh my God. That's so whack, bro.
Absolutely.
You assumed first. How am I in the fault here?
And you assumed multiple times.
Because you assumed.
But you assumed as
You
well.
kicked the fucking... You started the motherfucking avalanche. And because I caused a couple more, I'm the big problem here.
You caused the avalanche.
fuck
Come
off,
on.
Nick. Fuck
you
off.
started
Did you assume first, yes or no?
Yeah, but that didn't start the argument.
Oh God, you assume first. What's the argument?
You making me like feel like I had to explain why my opinion is right. You know what I'm saying? That's what started it.
Nick,
that's what started it.
Whether or not you get hurt by how I feel about your opinions is on you. I'm saying,
I wasn't hurt. I was more like,
say whatever.
What's this thing asking me this for? I was like, why is he? I was like, all right, I'll explain.
Whatever synonym you need, Nick. All I'm saying is you assumed first, and it slipped. It was a slippery slope from there.
I assumed first, of course. Because if we're saying that I assume that we were moving back to the topic at hand, yeah, I assume that we would do that. You wanted to keep it on that one. So I was like, all right. Once I figured that out, I'm like, okay, I see what you're saying now.
It took 30 minutes.
Damn, I wish you would. I'm like, damn, I wish you had like said that. Because we didn't get back to the age-20 thing for a while. Admit that, yes or no? We didn't mention.
Yes.
So I'm all this whole time under the assumption.
How would I know, Nick?
How would I know? How would I know?
You moved, not me.
No, you moved.
I stayed on it. Did I stay on the topic? Did I stay on the topic that was currently at hand?
No. Who put all the differentiators in of, okay, the 20%, the ones who already have lease, who did that?
Me.
You moved it from what we were talking about.
Am I not allowed to change?
No, what I'm saying is you moved it. So from that standpoint, you started it.
Wait. You're cap.
You're mad how much that makes sense. You're mad. You're mad.
Man, we have leeways in our conversations, correct?
Yes.
Sometimes we get off topic.
Yes.
I had a leeway, right?
Right.
You tried to get us back on topic.
Right. That's the job. I'm a moderator. That's my job.
I wasn't done with the leeway, correct? Can you say
you
that?
should have established that. Oh, wait.
How can I do that besides continue with what I'm talking about?
But back to the 80-20, though. Like, you could have just said that.
I never left. I would have to go somewhere to go back to the 80-20. I never stopped with the 80-20.
What I thought
you cut me off, you fuck nigga.
What I thought you were doing was an aside. You literally changed it.
It was the branch. We've branched before. We was gonna come back, Nick. You forced us back a little quicker than I anticipated. I wasn't done saying what I had to say, right. But that's fine. That's fine.
And I would have been fine going back to it.
Yours,
I would have been fine.
You just said, "Fuck this nigga's side with branch," huh?
No, I started it. Absolutely.
Fuck off, Nick, on everything, honestly, bro. You really gonna sit here and count?
I don't know if we have enough viewers for this, but I'm gonna see if I can put up a poll.
You damn sure should put up a poll. Oh yeah, I will win. Face off, and it's gonna everything, bro.
And it's just gonna be who's capping. It's gonna be who's capping.
You assumed first, not me. I was still talking about something.
No, but you changed the goalposts of the conversation now. Like you did, like you 100% saying you changed the goalposts first.
You literally are saying your leeway went on too much, and I had to fucking cut your leeway off.
Like
that's what you're saying right now.
You made it's such a leeway that I'm like, yeah, I agree. Okay, let's get back to we agree. Let's get back to the
I couldn't finish what I had to say. Is that what you're telling me?
It's not that. It's that I got what you were saying. I'm like, cool, we good. Like we're good. I get it. Like yes, those people are gonna go back to school.
And then you went back to the main topic without me
because that's
realizing that you had went back to the main topic.
Right. This sounds like
made a statement that I didn't agree with because I thought we were on a different topic. Because you did not tell me that we had went back to the main topic, moderator.
You know what this sounds like?
Go ahead, Nick.
A lack of understanding.
Good.
It sounds like a lack of understanding.
I'm happy you feel that way.
You had a lack of understanding.
I had a lack of understanding.
You had a lack. Hey, yo, you had a lack.
So much fucking cap.
You had a lack of understanding.
Why you keep saying me? You bitch.
Look, I'm thinking of this non-biasly.
Nick, you are the other side. Yo, I'm happy this is being recorded because Nick really is an op. Like I hope y'all are hearing this. How op like this man. He is literally painting a picture where I am at fault for literally saying something in the podcast in a side as you just said it.
Viewers, I don't know about you, but he sounds a little defensive right now, don't he?
Nick, you really got me riled up over some cap, and I refuse. I refuse to go out.
Hey, bro, you brought it back
because I couldn't believe that you was trying to put the blame on me, bro. That's not me, bro. I can never.
You
try to
put the you try to put the blame on me,
nigga, because it's your fault.
Sounds low cap.
Hey, yo, we might as well just move into what we were watching. This NCAA shit's gonna get us motherfucking 3.5 hours.
Look, but overall, like, we agree that they should be postponed until further notice.
Yep.
For all sports?
Fuck else is going on in the fall?
I mean, what about, like, wrestling and stuff?
You for real?
Yeah, like...
Nigga, the same shit.
I don't know. The UFC's going on and shit.
Nigga, the same shit.
I don't know. I feel like certain sports you could maybe...
Nigga, the same shit.
Maybe like racquetball.
You want me to say it again?
No.
All right, cool.
Thank you for not saying it again. But...
Next topic.
That was so unneeded. That was so unneeded. That was almost as unneeded as that.
Don't even waste the energy, bro. Don't even waste the
You already know what I'm about to say. Yo, I'll get into it. I'll get into it next topic. I'll get into it next topic.
Don't even waste the energy.
What are you watching right now, fool?
Hey, bro. it's been a pretty basic week for me watching things wise. I stick to a pretty good schedule. Watch JoJo's Seven Deadly Sins. This might be the best season of the Seven Deadly Sins.
I've heard the exact opposite. Now, I haven't seen it, but I've heard this is the worst season by
This
far.
is probably the most poorly animated season. But the plot, boy, like they're connecting so many things. I mean, like I said, I'm only probably 5-6 episodes in. I'll tell you this. This is the less I've seen the pig the whole show. And I mean, this is peak.
That might make me tune in, to be honest.
Peak Seven Deadly Sins. I mean, he hasn't been in, like, he's popped up. That I don't even know what sex the pig really is, but
I think it's a female.
I'm not even gonna try.
Man,
like I said, I'm probably 6-7 episodes in. Pig's been in like 2 max. I mean, I'm here for all of it. The pig is literally just not there. The show,
that sounds like a season low to me.
The show has gone so far plot wise, like more than I would say I've seen in maybe half a season previously. Like I said, I'm only 6 in. It's a 24 episode season, so.
That's interesting because I heard some bad things.
It's poorly animated, but I think they...
Not even from that perspective, just from plot perspective.
Really?
I heard bad things.
Like I said, maybe...
But I haven't seen it yet, and I'm not caught up, really. Like I think I'm on like season 2.
Oh.
So,
well, it depends how Netflix labels the seasons differently than what they actually...
We're in season 4 right now.
Netflix-wise, yeah.
Yeah.
In the show, it's actually 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because one of the seasons on Netflix, just a bunch of OVAs.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not up to date. I have a whole season to go before.
You'll catch
yeah,
up.
I have a whole season to go before.
Me personally, I think it's one of the better seasons. I haven't finished it yet, but right now it's on a high note. I mean, they're connecting dots, they're fitting loops. The pig's not there. I mean, this is phenomenal. This is what the show should have been the whole time.
This is the first positive review, and I talked to like 8 people about it too. I was like, should we watch it? And it's like, no.
It's really that
every time I was like, no.
I will say this: a lot of people who do pay attention to Seven Deadly Sins are big on the source material, and I've heard the anime doesn't do the source material any justice.
Oh no, my niggas like that.
But I don't watch source material, so I'm gonna finish it up. Maybe I'll come back, a week or 2 and be like, that shit was ass. Don't come back. But right now, I'm enjoying the ride. I like where we're going.
Seven Deadly Sins is always that anime that I watch like 7 months after it comes out.
You can generally turn your brain off and watch the anime, and I love that about it. It's
I need to be in the right mode for it.
It's the mumble rap of anime.
Wow. The Playboy cardio.
Hey, bro, I fuck with Playboy cardio heavy.
I do too. You fuck with Seven Deadly Sins too, right?
Yeah, look, you do. So, I'm still watching it.
But
besides Seven Deadly Sins, we're still watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. We're almost on season. Well, I guess it's the second part of the second season, but it depends how you view JoJo's. It's technically the 3rd season, but nonetheless, we're almost there. The show was getting good. You feel me? Avdol and the bitch. You feel me? I'm not gonna spoil too much, but we're gonna keep this motherfucking moving. It's a good show, but this man Nick has somehow convinced me to start BNA, which part of me feels like he connived his way into, but I'll let a finesse be a finesse. But
we'll make it more fair this week,
whatever that means. BNA, bro. If you don't know what it is, it's brand new animal. Is that what it really stands for?
Mm-hmm.
And if you watch anime and you're familiar with Studio Trigger, make Kill la Kill, Darling in the Franxx, SSS Gridman. I mean, they got some other works. Little Witch Academia. I forgot to mention that. They made that? They made Little Witch Academia. One of their better animated series.
Yeah, I like that one.
Like I said, they're a pretty...
That shocks me because that's also a Netflix like anime. So I didn't know they had like this much business with Netflix. Okay.
They do good business. So like I said, I guess now that we're in 2020, they're not like a new up and coming studio. They kind of made it now. They've got titles, they've got hits as you would, but anything they put out for the most part tends to be heat. So I forgot it was a Studio Trigger anime when I first hit play, but it didn't take me long to realize that I was getting myself into a good plot. So like I said, so far 3 episodes in, good premise, and Lord knows I'm expecting to get my heart broken and some trust betrayed. I'm here for the ride.
Yeah, somebody who's watched the whole series, man.
Oh,
definitely recommend.
Yeah, you're the reason I'm watching it.
Yeah, highly recommend it to anybody who sees it on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a good anime. It's not, don't go into it thinking, oh, this is going to be the best anime I've seen in a while. It's just good anime.
Hey, bro, you got to appreciate it before it comes. You
can't sit there and always get classics, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm about to say, if you go around chasing classics, you're going to find yourself not liking a lot of anime.
Even the classics you might not fuck with.
Especially if it's not your genre. Like, people don't know what your genre is. So
I know this might sound blasphemous to you, but I do not like Hunter x Hunter. And I've only heard good things from everybody.
Everybody.
I've watched 26 episodes that show.
Are you watching the most recent series?
I watched both.
You watched the old one and the new one?
I watched the old one. I didn't like the old one, of course, but
I mean the old one's whatever. I really like how they did
the
the
new one. I don't know, man.
Bro,
it's it's weird because the guy who made Hunter x Hunter has made my favorite anime ever.
Very popular creator, director, artist.
I don't think he's popular. I think he has those too.
I mean, he's got a lot of clout for him.
But I think it's all off of Yu Yu Hakusho. I don't know any other.
Hear me out. You can't.
I think when Hunter x Hunter was made, it was big because he's coming back.
You can't drop two bangers like that. Just because you don't like Hunter x Hunter, don't mean they weren't bangers. By the way, but
and that's one thing. I would never like make fun of anybody for watching.
Very big bangers to have. Just home and say.
Hunter x Hunter is a classic anime. I would never.
Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter are your two animes. That's a.
I'm saying that's respect.
I know you seen the motherfucker got two belts on it, and just Yu Yu Hakusho on the left, Hunter x Hunter on the right. Come on, bro. You're popular just off those.
I'm gonna ask you a controversial question.
What's up?
Are you doing what you're watching in terms of?
Shit.
Make sure.
I guess. Thank you for not cutting me off there. Actually, making sure we didn't leave the plot or like side or whatever.
Yeah, it never happens. I don't know why you'd even assume that.
Fuck, that was done well. I gotta give you props for that one. I guess. Sports. Dang, I don't want to get into sports right now.
We can do it at the end.
I'd rather you finish.
We've been watching
anime.
low key most of the same.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah. I've been getting caught up in the NFL Top 100 list. I thought it was a pretty dope list this year. So,
damn. Wait.
I'm just not. What's on YouTube? I just not gotten caught up.
Damn. Honestly, that slipped my.
You forgot it was out.
I watch those every year. I forgot.
Nah, they put it out slight. I think they put it out in like a 3-day sprint.
Yeah, they put them out in increments. That always do that.
But like usually it was like weekend and weekend how they used to do. They put it out in 4 straight days. They put it out like just dropped it like they with the.
So we're at number 1 already.
They're done. It came out like 2 weeks ago. It's out.
Spoiler. Come on, who's number 1?
You don't want it. You really want to know?
Is it controversial?
No, I'll just say you'd rather just watch the list. You really want me to spoil it?
I'm saying I want you to spoil it.
Take a guess before I spoil it.
Pat.
Nope.
Lamar.
Yep.
I can't be mad at that.
I wouldn't.
I can't be mad at that.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was catching up on that list.
Okay. My thing was, as long as it's one of those two, I'm good with it.
Pat's 4 though. I'll just put that out there too.
That's a little disrespectful.
He felt that way too. But nonetheless, I've been catching up on NFL Top 100 and sports, man. Sports. That's how we've been bumming. But what you been watching since we on the anime wave, you feels?
First, I want to ask you a question.
Go ahead, ask away.
Have you seen Cowboy Bebop?
Yes.
Have you seen Samurai Champloo?
That's next.
How'd you feel about Cowboy Bebop? They're made by the same nigga if you didn't know, but how'd you feel about Cowboy Bebop?
To be honest, I thought it was a letdown. I really did. I'm gonna be honest with you, because it's got rave reviews. It's
honestly, like, people put that as their favorite anime of all time,
and I feel like,
and I can see why. It's just not.
I think you also got to take a look at when it dropped, like time period wise. I think it's one of those like ahead of their time animes, and I'm not gonna argue with that. But like when it comes to you also got to look at the other perspective, my perspective. I've seen a lot of anime. I've seen a lot of stories. That one's some like you put it on late night and you just kind of let it go.
It almost isn't anime in a lot of sense. Like, it is anime. It's anime, of course. Mm-hmm. But like the story that it tells, it doesn't have a lot of the anime tropes that you expect.
Not at all.
And that doesn't mean it's a bad anime or anything. It's kind of
just out of left
field.
But
I just don't like the direction the story goes.
It's not even a real story, if I'm being honest.
When I watched The Mandalorian, I was like, oh, this is a better version of a story just like this. And it's because Star Wars in general, Star Wars gets a little corny. Star Wars gets kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Mandalorian is literally just a bounty hunter just going and doing his shit.
That's real.
And Cowboy Bebop is similar. I just didn't like how the fights were. Fights seemed inconsequential almost. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Like I said, it's all over the place. I think it was one of those. You kind of just it wasn't an anime you're supposed to sit and binge per se, as you were supposed to just watch it, every couple episodes and just catch it and tune in, just enjoy it for what it was. If you were sitting there watching the whole thing in like a 2-week period, expecting to get some grand finale, the beginning of the anime is the end. If anyone didn't know, now you know. So it's not something. I think if you came in expecting something different, like I think because of the rave reviews, the perspective.
That's
coming
the thing.
in,
like you go into anime sometimes and it has rave reviews, and you go in with a certain
mindset.
Like, for example, I watched Attack on Titan this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy I liked it, but that's considered like a top anime.
Oh,
as well.
for sure.
That's in the classic category too.
A lot of people say that.
I watched it. I'm like, oh,
A lot of people's
I
favorite
completely
anime.
see why this is a classic, and I agree.
Okay, so
Cowboy Bebop, I watched it, and I came to the same conclusion, except I didn't like it. I can see why it's a classic, though.
I think it's a time period thing. I
don't know. I think it would appeal to a certain person, not me.
I think coming up in today's anime, it would have really sunk under the ship.
Like, why though?
Just one, plot, and two, in just terms of characters and themselves. Like,
I like the characters.
I think I
like the characters.
The characters
weren't the issue for me.
I think you really grow to like them, as in like, all right, these are the niggas I see day in day out. They got their own little tropes, some little quirks. You feel me? You. I don't think there's a lot, especially in the main cast, a reason to hate anyone or dislike them. I think personally, when I say like the characters didn't live up to the billing as much as like, I'm not going around listing any of them in my top tier. Like this character right here, that character for me. Like they all came.
You put it like
went.
that, yeah.
They all came in.
I absolutely agree with you on that.
I'm
not putting them in my top anything.
Yeah, you don't make those discussions for any of them, bro.
Honestly, one day I want you to watch Samurai Champloo.
It's on the list. I'm not saying I'm going to.
Samurai Champloo to me works in a lot. Like what Cowboy Bebop was trying to do works for me in Samurai Champloo because it's similar in a lot of ways. It's a group of people who are kind of misfits who don't. I've heard rave reviews about
that as well.
The setting is the key.
All right,
because
you don't have to convince me, Nick.
No. I'm just saying a lot of people don't. Just say how unique. Not for you. I'm just saying in general. Like a lot of people don't make animes in like feudal Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of animes are fantastical, or they take place in modern day.
Yep.
Feudal Japan's a very interesting like setting for an anime.
I
know there's a good amount of them, but I'm saying in terms of the majority of anime
for what comes, that's a lot of isekai. I think that's probably the biggest.
Like feudal, like that is a super crazy period because it's real. Like it really, like shit like that really happened. You know what I'm saying? It's more historical than anything.
I think if you enjoy that, you should probably do a little diving. But
I think there's Sword of the Samurai or something like that.
It's a whole list.
Yeah, it was a couple anime movies and animes I've seen. I'm like, yeah, I need to see that if it's feudal Japan. So. But what I've been watching, so Nana wanted me to watch this anime called Agame ga Kill. It's on Netflix. I am very conflicted about this anime.
You're not done yet, Nick.
I'm not. I'm 12 episodes in. There's 24 episodes in total. What I'll say is niggas die.
The title of my book is
niggas die. Now, who dies? I'll leave that up to you to watch. But people die and you feel something, you know? And it's, to me, earned. They do a good job of earning all the emotional deaths that happen.
Never get too attached.
Because there have been shows where it's like somebody dies and I'm like, I don't care.
You move on.
Yeah. This show, I'm like, damn, you died? Fuck. And it happens in shocking ways. I think that is a benefit of the show. I think that's a plus. I think the characters are a plus. I think the animation is a plus. I think the power-up system's a plus. The main character is a down. Man, bro. I do because it's my arm.
It's you.
This is my fault. This is the first thing in the podcast that's actually my fault, man.
Hey, bro, cap wherever you need to.
I'll take it from you. But anyways, like, what's his name? Do you know?
I forgot it completely.
See, that's the first problem. He's so unmemorable.
Well, I want to say
it doesn't even matter who he is. You could replace him with anybody.
I'm gonna say this: matter. You haven't finished the show, so please refrain from
it.
That
shouldn't take. I'm sorry, but it shouldn't take 12 episodes for me to care about
I'm gonna tell even you right
remotely
now,
about a protagonist.
You might get to episode 18 and feel this way, but he. I'm gonna tell you this to anyone who even plans on watching it, to Nick himself. Don't forget who the main character of the show is. That's all I can say.
Look, and yeah, we're not gonna spoil nothing, but the show basically takes place in a world conquered by a corrupt government. Sounds familiar. And
word, that's crazy.
I'm just saying, like, so basically the child ruler, but he's being, manipulated and everything. So there's a bunch of chaos, bunch of wars, bunch of different shit going on. And suffice to say, the main character joins a group of assassins who want to overthrow this kingdom.
Woo!
typical anime story. You know, not doing anything too
It
special.
really isn't out the book. I think
Yeah,
me personally, as a person who's finished it, I thought it was just well done.
That's the thing. What it does with that basic story is masterful, in my opinion, so far.
I'm telling you, you go look at this anime as a whole and be like, damn, that's some next level.
And
shit.
the main character acts as like a conduit to, you know, he acts as a conduit to meet all these other characters who are good. Which, you know, is not a bad thing, but it makes me not care about the main character. He literally is just a plot device at this point. So he's not Deku. He's just awful. Deku has an arc. He's his own person. And I don't feel like Deku is just there to advance the plot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
he
like
is the plot, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't like Deku because he's a bitch. I wouldn't call this dude in the anime a bitch. I wouldn't call him a bitch.
He's got bitch moments.
But they're understandable. You cry when your friends die. All that. I get it. Ain't nobody in My Hero Academia has died.
What? Where are you in My Hero Academia?
Who important and consequential has died?
You for real?
Died?
You talking about All Might's protege? His little sidekick? The dude who can predict the future?
Okay, that's little though. That's little.
He wasn't important.
One character.
No one felt no type of way when he died, huh? That's what you're saying?
Honestly, I never
there wasn't a hospital bed scene?
I will openly admit I forgot that he died.
Wow.
He wasn't one of my favorites.
Okay. I thought that was supposed to mean something.
It really didn't to me.
Oh, God.
When he died, I was like, yeah, that sucks.
Damn. R.I.P.
I'll say this. When a ex character in Agami Got Killed dies, I felt
You felt it? Hey.
But
I will say, it's saying something that My Hero's got 40, 50 plus episodes under his belt. Someone dies and you felt no type of way. But Agami Got Killed went through like
within 6 episodes, when the person died, I was like, whoa. I really did feel something, you know what I'm saying? And that don't speak to, I'm not saying My Hero is not good. My Hero is still good.
I didn't even say that. No,
I'm just making that clear. Like, because I don't know if anybody's watching this for the first time. I like My Hero.
Someone just said a torch. It was coming for your neck, bro.
A My Hero fan in a Deku outfit, green hair, black and green hair.
How dare this motherfucker?
I'm like, rest assured, I like My Hero. Great end to the season, all that.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh my god,
it's gonna be war.
Are you honestly? I've been thinking about reading ahead.
Don't look. Do it at your own cost.
I'm thinking of doing that and doing that with Demon Slayer.
Do it at your own cost.
Who knows when we'll have another season? Who knows?
2021.
I don't know, bro.
You sound very unsure, and that's fine. I understand that. A lot of shit's been pushed back. It's 2021. If it's not 2021, call me. You can be upset. I'll let you get everyone freebie.
I'll say
without me even arguing. I won't even call you Cappin.
I don't need to call you. I'll get over it.
Cool.
I'll be reading that manga.
You'll be all right. The manga for Demon Slayer just finished actually. Very recently.
All right. That's honestly what made me think about it.
I'm about to say, a lot of people like the ending.
I'm like, if I just read this, I feel like because I will still have a good time rewatching it. Because I read the manga for Naruto and still like the ending.
So I think it's a personal thing. Some people think a lot of animes don't do some mangas justice, and that will leave a sour taste in their mouth.
That's what people say about Full Metal.
So.
And so much so,
I think that's why they had to remake it.
That's why they had to remake it. To me, that's so crazy.
That is the power of fandom.
Because I don't. Besides that, and Hunter x Hunter, I can't think of any as like
they get remakes.
Yeah. And I'll be interested to see like what a remake for some animes will look like.
You're gonna have to wait a while because a lot of these animes are done well, in my opinion.
One anime that I'd love to see remake in like a new style.
Word.
Probably Yu Yu Hakusho.
Nigga, you just a fan.
I am, but. Yu Yu Hakusho is a 10 out of 10 for when it came out.
You think it'd be same now?
I think that if I were to judge it against like Demon Slayer, just from an animation perspective,
you see what
I'm saying? No concept.
You just want to see it put back into normal frames so you can enjoy the ride again.
Like say maybe cut out a little bit of the filler.
Be careful what you wish for because they redid damn, why is this on my name right now? Dang, it's a classic. It's an absolute Berserk. They redid Berserk. It made that shit
See, I have friends who are like, CG.
They made it the new Berserk remake CG. But like everyone wanted the remake so bad,
and
they fucked
CG.
That shit up. So like I said,
nobody wants CG.
What did they get though? Some shit, ain't it?
The only CG
that's what I
anime,
said.
the
Be
only
careful.
CG anime that even makes sense
Mhm.
is Beastars.
There's others, but you haven't watched
Of that quality, like it has
the
to
same
be
people that
that
made
it has to be that
Beastars.
quality. I'm
They
saying
Land of the Illustrious. Watch it.
okay. Anybody from that studio. I should say anybody from that studio.
Okay, yeah, I don't know anyone else doing it like them.
Right. That's what I meant to say.
Okay.
Yeah. If that studio is taking care of your project,
Go
cool.
ahead. Anyone else is whack.
Anybody else is like, no.
All right, I don't know who made the Berserk.
I definitely know they didn't make the Berserk shit.
Yeah, I can't tell you who made the Berserk remake. But like I said, you better hope whoever is in charge of these.
Are you talking about the show?
Berserk? You talking about?
Because there are movies too.
They remade the series,
but
the
CG. The movies weren't, I don't think, that bad.
The movies I didn't watch, so I can't give you.
Yeah,
they weren't CG.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I watched the movies. The movies are good.
You want Yu Yu Hakusho series remade or the movies remade? Pick one.
What I'm saying is because Berserk's an old anime.
It is.
When they remade it,
which older, Berserk or Yu Yu Hakusho?
Both.
I said which older?
I'm pretty sure Berserk's older.
All right,
I'm pretty sure.
I'm just guessing.
I'm pretty sure Berserk's older. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Berserk's older. If you remake Berserk as they did the movies, it looks fine. Like Berserk movies look good. They're fine. They're a little CG in places, but they're good overall.
Got you. This
if
one's
you
all
do
CG.
a CG, yeah. No,
all right, so this is
shitty regardless.
This is my thing. When you're hoping for a remake, as much as you think it could still be as good, it could definitely become worse.
Like another one, Dragon Ball Z Kai.
For sure. I think that was more of a reboot than a remake.
No, they remade scenes.
Oh, it said Kai. I was thinking the more recent series.
Not Super.
Sorry.
Super is a continuation.
I was about to say that was more of a franchise reboot than a.
Not even a reboot, just a continuation.
I mean, they brought it back. Dragon Ball was down for a little bit.
But a reboot implies you are retelling the story.
Okay, I see what you're saying that way. Yeah, they brought it back.
Yeah, like.
But
Dragon Ball Z Kai, they remade the old episodes, cut out filler. I'm like,
I think it was
that is how you should do it. You
Try to get it to the younger audience.
Because there are some Yu Yu Hakusho episodes where I'm like, I don't need this.
I think you should have said like make it like a Dragon Ball Z Kai kind of remake. I was just thinking studio remake where they like some different studio grabs it and puts their own spin on it.
No. I wanted to have the same animation style, but just not 90s anime.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like have it look like a modern anime.
Put more details in your orders, Nick. People will get them wrong.
I feel like there are certain things you should
imply.
Assume.
Oh God, Nick, you started this with don't assume. This is so much cap. Oh my God,
I feel like I should redo my rando thought
on everything.
Don't assume. I think don't assume everything.
You wasted,
but definitely assume something.
Thought.
No, but definitely assume some things.
You completely wasted your rando thought. I mean, the way you started is to where you are now. I mean, backpedaled like you was Deion Sanders in his prime.
Man,
where are we at, Nick?
Man, we're at what we're listening. Oh no, we gotta talk about sports.
Oh boy, Champions League! Boy, the Champions League going crazy. Ooh, Barca, how you gonna get 8-2'd?
I could have swore you like Barca though,
bro. You got it twisted. I'm a fan of good soccer games. To see a Barcelona team get 8-2'd, they didn't sleep at. I promise you, any Barca fan that slept last night was sleeping sick as fuck. If not, they had went to sleep early because they got too fucked up because they were depressed about their team getting 8-2'd in the Champions League quarterfinal. Barcelona doesn't get 8-2'd. What? That's a preseason score.
I mean, you said it best. Both. This is the first time since 2005
since
Messi and Ronaldo
aren't in a Champions League semifinal, bro. Go ahead, data check all that. It's tragic. I'm telling you. Ooh, these stories don't watch itself. And then City lost to Lyon today. Boy, you couldn't write this shit in a FIFA simulator, man. The way this shit played out, everyone's sick besides Bayern, because I'm telling you right now, Bayern won this Champions League. If you gonna run this back in a week or two and be like, dang,
I can't think of a reason to dispute that.
They're done, bro. They
can't.
taken the
if you 8-2 Barcelona, that's a statement to the rest of the tournament.
I thought there was a chance if City had won this game today and went on to play
that's possible.
Bayern.
I thought they had any given match. You know?
I thought they had the biggest chance.
Any given match, of course.
But they folded themselves. It's a wrap, bro. Bayern got this trophy. I'm not making no bold prediction. If you think Bayern don't got it, hit my line so I can convert you back to common sense.
Yeah, it's
a wrap.
It's pretty much done.
Upsets happen. This one ain't happening.
They're just too stacked.
Ooh,
and they questionably have the hottest player in the world.
Lewandowski could have won Ballon d'Or this year. Ballon d'Or. Oh,
has he ever won it?
No. And the one year
I feel like you gotta give it to him. The 1 year he was supposed to,
they canceled it.
If they run the table, I think you got it.
They canceled the Player of the Year award because of coronavirus.
Oh, they canceled it?
Literally no award this year, and it was going to be his year.
I mean, you need to make up some
No,
other
they said no
award.
full season.
You need to make up some other
Because
award.
not every league had played out their season, so they thought it was invalid.
I feel it, but let's be real. Even if they did play,
He deserved it. I'm not gonna say
if they played out the season. Come on,
I'm not gonna say he didn't deserve it. Look,
Yeah.
coronavirus affects everyone different ways, man.
I feel it. That's unfortunate because Lewandowski has been balling.
He has been
all season in both leagues.
Has been hooping no matter what game he plays in. That man got the cleats. He been scoring. It's like that.
And my thing is, this might be his best year. Period.
This genuinely,
and it's gonna be hard to top this.
Number wise, it might be like
because he's always been good.
He's always put up numbers. This might statistically, he might have had better years. This is probably his most impactful year, where you genuinely have to keep your eyes on him at all times. They scored 8, and he only had 1 goal. Right. And honestly, I mean, all eyes were still on him. You can't take your eyes off that man for a second, or it's a goal.
Right.
And I can't wait. This is gonna be fun.
Man, we're watching this basketball too, though.
Boy, this bubble has been the numbers.
So did you watch the Portland?
Like I told you earlier, I was too busy watching Champions League, but I caught the end of the Portland Memphis game.
I watched the whole game, like from tip off to.
It was a playoff level game for what I saw.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
I think it was maybe behind the Clippers-Lakers opening game.
One of the best games.
Yeah, like I'd say it's maybe the second best game in the bubble.
Got you.
Just the amount of talent on display. Everybody was balling. Ja had 32. Dame
wasn't a career high for Ja?
I think so.
Yep.
Ja was good. Dame was good. Dame wasn't,
the 51 we have seen or the 60.
He wasn't even the best player. He was maybe the third best player on his team.
On his team.
Word. Because, man, they're not in the game without Nurkic. Shouts out to Nurkic because his grandma died this morning from corona.
That's tough.
And he wasn't even sure if he was going to play. He played and had 21 and 20.
I told you when he came back.
And 7 assists.
When he came back, I told you he's going to be a factor, bro.
I never disagreed. Nurkic is...
I'm just saying, I said it first.
I didn't disagree. Yeah, you can be right. I can be right too.
I'm just saying it's also your fault. But continue.
Sounds a little biased.
Continue.
But yeah, Nurkic has been balling, man.
Nurkic's
been balling all bubble, but this game he had probably his best game. Period. Because he was
period. Like career or in the bubble.
I'd say at least this year.
All right, we served for most of the year, so I'm not gonna argue that.
Yeah, like
I'd
have to really think about.
No, he's had some career highs, but this was probably
because 2020 and leading the team, not like because watching the game, nobody was doing like Dame was getting to the line, he's making shots every now.
No one was,
but it wasn't. Yeah, Dame wasn't like balling.
I saw CJ at the end; he was giving the buckets.
CJ was balling out in the fourth. CJ was good most of the game, but they couldn't stop Nurkic. They couldn't stop him at all.
Got you.
He was dominating in the paint.
Okay.
And then Hassan was just doing his job.
Yeah. I think the Grizzlies are really hurt without Jaren Jackson Jr. I think he said
yeah, definitely. But Valanciunas showed up too. He had 22 and 16. Like he balled out
play
too.
Defense no more.
He was decent. It was decent for
you know what I meant when I said that.
Yeah, of course. But I'm saying and I can only judge what happened in this game.
Gotcha.
He played well on both offense and defense.
All right.
I liked him. He was impactful. Ja did his thing.
Dylan Brooks showed up.
Brooks showed up. Kyle Anderson showed up.
Where slow-mo,
definitely.
That's a hell of a nickname.
I mean, he's slow, but at the same time, he's one of the most skillful.
He's efficient.
He's one of the most skillful small forwards in the league.
He's such a weird player where he plays like a guard, but he's 6'9".
It's weird, but I've always respected this game. Always.
I love how I didn't believe he really moved the slow motion style. He just doesn't move fast. Like he's not over athletic, but he still moves so well. And I fuck with that. I fuck with his game. He had a good game. That's good.
And it was a great finish because even though
Melo,
man, he iced the game. But even before that, like the Grizzlies didn't give up. The Grizzlies were going up and down that whole game. They were down 14 to start the second quarter, and they came back, went down again, came back, took the lead, lost the lead, and then we're slowly trying to get it back from Portland. And it just didn't work out.
Got you.
And, Portland's an overall better team than them. Portland has more experience. Portland has better players overall, and Portland has the bubble MVP.
which has already been decided. Didn't even have to
Which,
discuss
look,
it.
I think it's a stupid name in general.
Hey, bro, we had to give someone
Like,
some awards.
We're calling it Bubble First Team. Like, all right.
Devin Booker got bubble first team, baby.
Like, okay.
What, you just don't like the sound of bubbles?
Yeah, I wish they'd call it something completely different. But, you know, it
Your
is what it
world.
is. Beggars can't be choosers. Happy the league's going on. I hope they still award MVPs and everything, though. And look, as a Laker fan, Giannis is the MVP. Like,
Really?
Yeah. Because before the season ended, I was like, Giannis is MVP slightly over LeBron. So LeBron has to ball out this last half of the season or the last quarter of the season.
Harden?
And he didn't ball out. LeBron in the bubble has been okay.
Is James Harden unanimously third for you?
What do you mean in terms of MVP?
Yes.
I don't know if I put him over Doncic. I don't know. That's hard.
Doncic figured 7th. Wow. Okay.
But not before the bubble shit. He was like they're like 4th before.
They finished 7th.
I'm saying, are you saying like if we're including the bubble shit? Because honestly, for me,
wait, we weren't?
honestly feels like a different season.
Wait, were you not?
I'm not trying to.
Wait. So you're gonna give MVP and not include what happened in the bubble?
I'm saying if I include the bubble, no way would LeBron win it in either situation.
Okay.
You know
I think you should include the bubble if you're gonna list the MVP.
But we have a bubble MVP.
I know.
So it's like if we have a bubble, if we're literally saying this bubble shit is a different season that warrants its own MVP, shouldn't we just leave aside the games that didn't take place in the bubble?
I think we shouldn't list the MVP at all if we're not going to include the bubble.
I think that I wouldn't mind that either. But I'm saying like if we're going to include the bubble, I guess the main point is either way, if you include the bubble, Giannis is the MVP. Either way.
All right.
I don't think that there's really an argument to say he's not the MVP.
My question was James isn't unanimously third.
Third? And I told you Doncic. I think Doncic.
And I said, damn, even though his team is the 7th?
I mean, James is the 5th.
Okay. Yeah. No, he's 4th. Thunder's 5th, ain't it?
I'm pretty sure Thunder have home court advantage.
LOL, whatever that is.
Well, obviously, you know what I mean. But, like, I think the Thunder have a higher seed than them.
Isn't it Cappin? He is. 4-5. They are 4th.
Okay. I thought it was Cappin. Cool.
And I think Harden's got not way better than Duncan is having a career year, but Harden's doing his thing again. I mean, not third?
No.
No? Okay.
Not really. Because Porzingis hasn't been great.
You get your own
Russ
vote.
has been pretty good.
Like I said, you get your own
I
vote.
think the Rockets have a better team than the Mavs overall.
I think the Rockets had to do a lot before they turned the season around. They had to go to the little small ball thing, get rid of Clint.
I mean, I think they worked out for the best. I don't think it was bad. It wasn't working out bad. It was just not championship.
Because they finished, 4th? They didn't have to go too far from where they were. But like I said, I think they were spiraling downward before they were spiraling up before Mike D'Antoni made that change.
I agree with that.
But all right, if you don't want them third, you don't want them third. I think
it's not that I don't want them third. It's that I think it's a push. I think that I would take if you told me, oh, James Harden's third on my MVP list, I'd be like, okay. If somebody told me Doncic is third, I'm like, okay. I can't like make an argument for either one of them.
Okay,
I think they both had great years.
I think Doncic finishing 7th with his team kind of takes away a little from him, but not to say he didn't have a great year. But nonetheless,
it's hard for me to really put the bubble stuff in perspective because when you have players like T.J. Warren being a finalist for bubble MVP, it kind of invalidates it to me because it's like
I don't think
these players are playing under very specific circumstances.
Is it Warren's fault they forgot to play defense?
No.
I can't give no argument on that. Warren did what he was supposed to do.
He did what he was supposed to do. I'm not going to discredit him. I'm saying that we're talking about 8 games. 8 games usually doesn't decide MVP.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of other games scheduled left.
For sure. Like I said, I think if you're not
thought LeBron had a realistic opportunity because remember, before the season ended, Giannis was hurt. And LeBron was literally having the best basketball of his career, of the year. I'm sorry.
All right, I'm about to say
not career, of course not year, but of the year he was having the best basketball.
Like I said, I think
he was on the upward. Giannis was injured, not playing. So it's like that MVP discussion was live and active. I'm not saying LeBron would have won it, but I'm saying that we literally shut the season down. That conversation ends. It's like this bubble shit, and now neither of them are playing super well in the bubble. It's like, what is? I'd rather just take what we already saw when everything was Home court still mattered. All that. I'd rather take that and call what the MVP was at that point.
Like I said, that's
as
all
opposed
noise
to
me.
saying the bubble, where realistically the Lakers really didn't have to play well. Like, if we're being honest, the Lakers had to win at most 2 games to secure the number 1 seed. Playing the other games didn't really matter. You know,
this is all noise to me, Nick. I'm telling you now. If you don't want to count these 8 games because of coronavirus and the break and the 4 months and the excuses and whatever,
I mean,
that's on
you. Not excuses. These are facts.
These are the
these
season. This
facts.
is all part of it. This is reality. This is where we live in. If you think it shouldn't count,
they're usually not a part of it.
Usually,
for most to all seasons of NBA, you don't have to account for a bubble.
There usually isn't a pandemic. Adjust, Nick.
You know what I'm saying?
Adjust.
But what I'm saying is,
adjust.
It doesn't. So what we should just forget what happened in the season? That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying if you don't want to include these games, don't even call it MVP for the season. The season didn't finish. We played a bubble. We're in the postseason.
I'm saying we have 50-something games
that were played.
Of who was MVP during these 50 games.
You can ask those questions. I don't think we should answer them.
This would be the first time we never have MVP. I mean, I don't think that we should do that. You're saying the other games don't matter.
I'm saying
those games
do
matter.
If we're gonna count, they mattered because we obviously came into this bubble with some seedings worked around with records. We had everything figured out. So I think we should count the bubble because it finished out.
And I'm saying
our basketball season.
Count the bubble. Giannis is still MVP.
Fine.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's not like it doesn't. No matter what happened in the bubble, doesn't change the fact that Giannis is MVP.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, the bubble has just made it weird in terms of where the seeding is. Everything is different now because of the bubble. Because now
would you rather us just gone straight into the playoffs?
I understand why we didn't do that, but yes.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay. I think
absolutely, because the bubble has kind of weirded things out, because now it's like, for me, Portland. And I'm not saying they should pay or anything, because they had a bad luck of the draw injury wise.
Sure.
But would they be the 8th seed if the season had continued? No.
Maybe.
No. Their path was the hardest.
Like I said, I'm not going
to literally the trail the way
Are you gonna tell me
they did the play-in tournament.
Are you gonna tell me it was impossible?
No. But it's the chances they were like a team like the Grizzlies. Were set in stone the 8th seed.
It was looking pretty good.
And
it wasn't locked for a reason, though.
It wasn't locked, but it was so skewed in their favor at that point.
Well, we had like 2 months.
They were up by 4 games.
What month did we stop?
March. They're up by 4 games.
So we had probably rest of March, and then April's not even a full month.
But you're up by 4 games. You literally come back, and now everybody has a shot, basically.
That's what it looks like.
And it's like, now that buffer that they had
did the Grizzlies
gone.
Not have the same opportunity everybody else win to play 8 games?
No, they didn't have the same opportunity because they were already in the 8th seed. And now all these other teams that wouldn't have had a shot now have a shot.
Did they still not
They didn't have a shot before. The Portland Trailblazers were not going to make the playoffs.
That's not a fact.
They were not going to make the playoffs.
That's not a fact.
They were not going to make the playoffs.
That's not a fact.
Look at the record.
That's not a fact.
They're the 11th seed.
You're going to look me now and tell us
they were not fact. Yes, they were not going to make the playoffs.
That's not on fact, Nick. Go and sit here and Cappin
with their injuries and all of that, they were not going to make the playoffs.
You're not impressing anyone about Cappin. That's no fact.
Whoa. You think they're going to make the playoffs?
I'm not saying it was impossible.
Nurkic and injuries all around?
It was not impossible.
They were not going to make the playoffs.
The Grizzlies could have folded.
They were not going to make the playoffs.
The Grizzlies could have folded.
They're sure, but not to that. Maybe the Pelicans would have came up.
Maybe
I don't know. The Suns wouldn't have had a shot without the bubble to even be in the conversation. The fact that the Suns were even in the conversation proves to me the bubble is like these games just kind of didn't matter because the Suns were out of it for months. We were looking at them as literally a lottery team.
I think it would have been unfair.
And the bubble has caused them to become they're a contender for the 8th seed. You know what I'm saying? Like when you reduce the amount of games that you have to play to get into the playoffs, it automatically hurts the teams that are at the literally barely in the playoffs.
I think it
literally hurts them, and it gives a benefit to the team. Like there's no benefit to what this happened for the Grizzlies. Nothing. They didn't benefit the Grizzlies in any way.
I think you're saying this isn't fair because the coronavirus happened and that we had to go into a bubble and yada yada. This is the reality.
And what I'm saying is that's a reality of it. Of course, I'm saying I would have rather. I understand why they had because they have TV money. If they didn't, That's the only reason why. And look,
it would have been so whack.
No. That's the only. I'm telling you.
I believe it. I believe
that is the only reason. They literally had to make 8 games to get their TV money. If that wasn't the case, they wouldn't have had this and straight into the playoffs.
I thought it would have been a whack as fuck.
Maybe they would have some exhibition games.
Really?
Not seeding games.
Okay.
Because it literally makes it unfair. It literally does. Because you're literally saying the Grizzlies who worked hard all year now have a harder road to maintain their 8 seed.
You don't see the vice versa at all?
What's the vice versa?
Unfair to the teams that still felt like they had a shot.
The teams before we stopped didn't have.
You're the one saying that.
No, they didn't have. And mathematically, they did not have as great of a shot. Because when you have more games to play.
No, Nick, you're saying as great a shot. Did they have a shot or not?
They had a shot. That shot widened when you reduce the amount of games.
Did they have a shot or not?
And you add a play-in tournament.
Nick, they had a shot to get in. Coronavirus happened to them too. Now their shot to get in is gone. That's what you're saying. You're saying, dang, y'all didn't do good enough. No shot. Right. I think that's fucked up on your part.
How's it fucked up on my part?
They still have a chance to make it before coronavirus
What
hit.
I'm saying is their chances increase tenfold because of coronavirus. The Grizzlies' chances decrease tenfold because of coronavirus. That's what I'm saying.
I think the Grizzlies
you disagree with that? Like I'm saying that's what I'm saying to a T.
I think you're making it seem like the Grizzlies came in and just lost all momentum. They still they were in the driver's seat. I'll give you a perfect example. The team that didn't have any benefit or negative thing were the Lakers, because the Lakers could lose all of their games and still be the number 1 seed. Honestly,
basically, there's no weight to their winning or losing games.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? That's whatever. That's what happens when you're first seed.
Got you.
When you're 8th seed, obviously you haven't won as many games.
You have teams peeking in for that spot.
But what I'm saying is your chances to keep that 8th seed were a lot greater before the bubble.
Did they come into the bubble in the driver's seat? Yes or no?
Yes.
They have the best advantage right off that to me then.
No, what I'm saying is, of course you have the best advantage because you've won more. You've earned that advantage. You've earned that advantage. You didn't earn the fact that now it's like there's a play-in tournament, and now you are at the point where, we're coming back from this layoff. You know what I'm saying? And now all you have to do, because it's easier to play 8 straight games of just good basketball as opposed to playing a season of good basketball, or the amount of games that they had left in the season. It's a lot easier.
Their season coming in was
the Suns are the point of that.
They did what they needed to do to get to the 8 speed at the time coronavirus hit and caused all the fuck Rudy Gobert, all that.
Right.
They did what they needed to do to get the 8 seed. They came into this bubble with the driver's seat in the 8 spot and the same amount of games as everyone else played.
Right.
I'm not gonna sit there and credit the Suns for having a good run and then discredit Memphis for folding. They did exactly what they did.
They folded. What I'm saying is, I would have preferred I understand. Like I said, I understand why we had to have these games. These games are not fair to Memphis. Memphis is the loser in all this.
They've got the same chance to win these.
So it's like, okay, I'd rather us just gone straight into the playoffs.
I think because they're not fair to Memphis is so backwards to the teams that are trying to get in.
Portland did its deed. Was fully healthy and peaked at the right time.
That's what happened.
The Grizzlies
it's an ugly reality.
Not peak, had injuries.
It's an ugly reality.
You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, if it was my league and I decided, we're going straight into the playoffs.
All right.
We're having exhibition games
to
get everybody warmed up.
Okay.
But we're going to go by the seeding of when things were normal as opposed to...
So the season ends for you when coronavirus hit?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the season ends because everybody was on a level playing field. We're not on a level playing field anymore. We're not. People are going to play differently in these conditions that no one's played under before. I feel if we're going to do this, have it start the playoffs. Because then...
whatever happens.
Because it's a new season, basically. The playoffs are a new season as opposed to the regular season.
It's the postseason. That's what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like everybody's moving at this. We're just restarting the regular season from where it was. Like I said the same thing in soccer. Remember when I think you told me that somebody had won on aggregate months ago. And then you come replay the game 5 months later, like, what the fuck?
Second leg.
That's kind of stupid.
Picked up where we left off.
That's kind of stupid.
It's not like they had not played before.
I get it, but we're 5 months later. You know what I'm saying? That's a little...
Nick, stop crying about the situation and face reality. Nick, the situation is coronavirus.
You don't know what tears sound like.
Coronavirus happened. We all we on. There's not a certain group that's less affected than the other. It's a global pandemic, mind you. So everyone should be looking.
The Grizzlies were more affected because there's less games and everybody has a fairer shot.
They had to win.
The Pelicans had the best shot.
Did the Grizzlies?
They were just playing awful. But the Pelicans benefited the most from the bubble. Grizzlies benefited the least.
Did the Grizzlies have to win less games to get that 8 seed locked up? Yes or no?
No.
What are you talking about right now, Nick? They had to win less games to get that 8 seed locked up.
Wait, repeat it?
Did the Grizzlies have to win less games than all the other teams under them to get that 8 seed locked up?
They all had the same amount of games.
Everyone played 8. The Grizzlies came in with I believe 2.5 game cushion, maybe 3.5.
What I'm saying is this is not the same season.
All they had to do was win 4 out of 8.
I don't like this idea of this is all the same season. It's not the same season. We gotta stop faking like it is.
I can understand.
There's a reason why there is a bubble MVP, because that Dame Lillard would not be the MVP of the regular season.
I can understand.
This is a different season.
I can understand why you feel someone's been wronged.
Like, we've never even had a play-in tournament in history of the NBA.
I can understand why you feel someone's been wronged.
It's not even that they've been wrong.
You sound like it.
No. Because I'm not a Grizzly fan. How do I explain this?
Yeah, you're having a tough time, bro.
No, you're having a hard time understanding.
They're having a 3.5 game cushion coming in. They didn't have to win as much games as the Blazers, Suns, or Spurs to get this 8 seed locked up, right? And they folded.
My whole point is this bubble is not the same season. It's not the same season.
It's not the same season for the Suns, and it's not the same season for everyone else.
But they're going to benefit because before the season ended, they had no shot to even be an 8 seed.
It's not their fault. The Suns' fault that the Grizzlies didn't benefit as much as them. I can't put that blame on the Suns.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that, it's like this.
Whose fault is it then, Nick? Who are we blaming? What
I'm blaming is it's all about the money because they had to do that for their TV contracts. That's what I'm blaming. I'm saying to me, the best way to have done it, because all I'm saying, I'm not mad. I had a good game today. I watched a good game today. I don't care. What I'm saying is the best way to have attacked this, if you weren't worrying about the money, is to literally just have this be the playoffs.
I disagree.
Why?
What do you mean? Why do I disagree?
Why do you?
I've just said it 1,000 times. The teams that were fighting for the spot, still felt like they were in there, are robbed.
Who's robbed?
The Suns, the Spurs.
How are they robbed? They had no shot beforehand.
False.
The Suns had no shot. The Suns are a team that had absolutely no shot.
Were they eliminated?
Huh?
Were they eliminated?
Yes.
No.
I believe.
No,
not mathematically.
Every team that came into this bubble was not eliminated.
I'm going to look up their stats.
Every team that came into this bubble was not eliminated from the playoffs.
I'm going to look up the
Suns. I'm telling it before Nick even pulls it up. Every team that pulled into this bubble was not eliminated.
Hold up.
Not one team was eliminated and got a second chance to make the playoffs. That's for sure. But go ahead, do what you need to do. That's Rap Cap, Nick, at its finest.
I disagree.
Go ahead. No team was eliminated from the playoffs and got a chance to make the playoffs this year, Nick. That didn't happen. Suns were 26-39. The Grizzlies were 32-33. With I don't know how many games to play.
That's like 4 or 5 games back.
They were not eliminated, that's for sure.
That is far. That is a far gap. And if you follow how these HD games go usually during the end of the season, that's a far gap.
Usually.
That's a far ass gap, bro.
Usually.
When you reduce that to, okay, we only have 8 games.
Were they eliminated at the time?
They weren't eliminated, but bro,
you know that was cap, bro.
You're going by technicalities. I'm going by, let's be honest.
They had a chance.
Were they going to make? No,
come
on. Were they going to make the playoffs? I don't give a fuck if you don't believe it.
Did they have a chance? Yes or no?
No. In their heart of hearts, in their heart of hearts, you know they
had a chance.
You know you do not.
It's a never say never type
they
of
don't
world,
have a
baby.
chance. You know they didn't have a
never say never type of world.
You know they didn't.
I'm looking at you in your eyes. You saying they had a chance.
They didn't have a chance, bro. They did not, bro.
They had a chance. Just because you don't believe
it. The Suns were lucky. They were the lucky team.
Fine.
Because they got to literally just play 8 games of perfect basketball.
This is all opinion, my G. If the season, like I said, this is if.
But you're saying opinion too.
Nick, you're saying they had a chance.
You're saying the Suns had a chance. I'm like, no, they did not.
Nick,
they did not.
If they didn't, they'd be eliminated.
So every team that's not mathematically out of the playoffs had a chance.
That's why they haven't been eliminated.
That is,
Nick.
Come on, that's cap. That's cap, and you know it. That's cap, and you know it.
Do Cinderella stories happen? Yes or no? Do miracles
happen? They're Cinderella stories for a reason. They're Cinderella stories
because
for a reason.
Miracle
because they rarely happen.
All right.
That's the whole reason.
We don't know if this would have happened or not.
But I'm saying you're going off of a hypothetical. I'm going off of it's probably not going to happen.
That means it also probably can.
Like, you're dreaming it's going to happen. I'm saying it's not going to happen. You're dreaming it's happening. I'm waking you up like, no, it's not going to happen,
Nick,
bro. I'm shaking you awake. I'm shaking you awake
Nick,
like, nah,
we
bro.
in the same dream. This hasn't been
like
reality
Devin Booker went out a chance, bro.
Nick, you said it probably is not going to happen, which also was in the same basis as it probably can happen.
It's probably not going to happen. Like,
I can sit here and flip the coin and say it probably can I not? I just said it. It probably can happen. Miracles happen.
And we're saying, look, bro.
Miracles happen.
We're saying
you can't sit here and tell them there's zero chance because I believe there's zero chance. That's whack as fuck.
Who said zero chance?
You.
No one said zero chance.
You said they have no chance. What is no to you?
No realistic shot to win. No realistic shot.
I'm saying they had a realistic shot.
When I say no chance, you obviously know what I mean. It's no realistic shot to win.
I'm not going to assume, Nick.
Zero?
I literally was told not to at the beginning of this podcast.
You got to assume something.
No.
We got to teach you.
I'm not going to assume at all. You are not going to force me to assume.
You think I'm saying they have no mathematical... Of course there's a mathematical chance.
Then there's a chance.
But when we're looking at it and looking at the standings, like, oh, they're 4 or 5 games back and there's only 20 games to play.
That's going to be difficult.
That does not... And history has shown this is not a team that usually makes the playoffs. Yeah, probably not going to make the playoffs.
There's a chance. I refuse to let you.
You're just trying to win the argument. You know I'm right. No, you know I'm right.
I'm not sitting here trying to argue to make you look like an idiot, Nick. I'm saying there's a chance, and it's wrong for you to eliminate them because you're looking at them saying that's not possible. Fuck that. Don't come to this bubble. We're gonna have the playoffs without you. That's whack.
No one said no. Don't come to the bubble.
You're saying I would have preferred it if they didn't. Did you?
I said exhibition games. I said exhibition games, didn't I?
And then straight into the playoffs.
Yes.
So you're saying bring them for the expedition games and then leave them when the playoffs start?
Yeah, because they would have been left home regardless.
That's a waste of time.
If Corona didn't happen, they'd be left home regardless.
Just do the expedition games with other playoff teams. Just have the West play the East for the expedition games. Call it a day.
Sure.
Why do you need the Suns?
I'm saying act like this is a continuation of the season. It's not. It's a completely different season.
They brought the teams that hadn't been eliminated because they still technically had a chance to make the playoffs, and they weren't going to tell them you couldn't without proving them that they couldn't.
Mathematically had a chance.
That's all I said. They had a chance.
Like the fact that they won all their games and still didn't make the playoffs showed they probably shouldn't have been. They probably shouldn't have been there in the first place.
It showed how wild of a chance they had. You know what? They were.
It showed that they had the absolute minuscule amount of chance,
and that's all I need.
What I'm saying, exactly what I'm saying. They had the absolute because they didn't have a chance before.
If you told me
you created this criteria where if they win all their games, they have a chance. That wouldn't happen in the regular season if we continued it as of.
If you told me I had that much of a whatever that amount you picked chance to be successful in life, I'm taking it, and I don't give what a single
they did.
Says.
I'm not mad at them for taking their chance. I'm saying overall, I don't think they should have had that chance.
That's whack.
Because if we did have the regular season as it was, then we wouldn't have that. They wouldn't have the chance.
I think they still did. That's whack.
You think they'd still run out the season?
I think
with the way they were playing, you think they run out the season? Because also you can't just take it in a vacuum. You have to look at how they were playing as well.
I'm not going to tell.
Not good. You don't like. Do you remember how good they were playing before the bubble?
I'm not going to tell the Suns team before the bubble, after the bubble, during the bubble, that they didn't have no chance because they weren't eliminated yet. If they were to wake up tomorrow and turn it up, we would all be screaming with our heads on fire.
I want them to ball like they have a chance, but they had the literal least amount of all the teams that qualified for the bubble.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yes. I know.
They had a chance.
They had the smallest mathematical chance possible.
I'm going to say it
again.
And
the fact that they won all their games and still didn't make the playoffs showed how minuscule of a chance they had.
I think your way you're thinking about this is whack.
No, I think the way you're thinking about it is idealistic.
Let them prove to us that they didn't deserve
they
to
did,
make
and they didn't.
And it didn't happen.
I'm not against it. We literally saw the result of it.
I'm not against it. What do you think was wasted time?
I think Portland is an example of...
Do you think it's wasted time that we did it?
Almost, yeah.
I thought we had
almost because my thing is the season ended. The season that we were playing in ended when you shut it down for 5 months.
That's not the same. 6 people are sick about this. I think the NBA players got a chance to show out. Maybe the Grizzlies. All Grizzlies fans are probably sick. The NBA players got a chance to prove that they can make the playoffs. The fans got to see some basketball that I think a lot of people.
We would have still seen basketball regardless.
What more expedition?
Would you rather start off with a game with the games we had, or you rather start with the playoff games?
I liked how we had it. Perfectly fine. I thought the teams that still were in the race for playoffs.
Would you prefer?
I just said it, Nick. I just said it.
You prefer?
I literally. You want me to say it again?
Sure.
I prefer the playing games we just had with the bubble. I thought it was done fantastic. I thought the fact that
I didn't say it was done fantastic.
I didn't say
I'm not saying it's not. They made the most of what they did. I thought it was a stupid decision to even do it. I just understand from a money standpoint, you have to do it that
when
way.
it first started, I said, this is dumb. I was with you 100% this argument. When it first started, I said, just go into the playoffs. What's the point of even doing these playing games? Then they happened. I said, okay, these teams still had a chance to make the playoffs before this coronavirus happened. Just like you're saying, it's wrong for the Grizzlies to have to fight their way in. I think it was wrong, like you're saying, that the other teams didn't have a chance to fight their way in, whether they were mathematically eliminated or not, which they weren't, which is why they even granted the opportunity.
I never said they were mathematically unable. I
said they had the lowest chance, and that it was a stretch for them to even try.
They literally had the lowest chance, and even though they won 8 straight games, they didn't make the playoffs.
So what? They should have never tried?
No one said that.
I'm asking.
No one said no. Of course they should try. I'm saying they shouldn't have had the opportunity to try. That's what I'm saying.
And I'm saying that's
how is that fucked?
Why are you going to take away the opportunity?
What you're saying is fucked to the Grizzlies, who worked hard all year, and because of this situation,
did the Grizzlies lose the opportunity?
Yes.
That's cap.
That's
cap. I just said it. They had their opportunity. They still had their cushions. They had the same 8 games to play that the other teams did, and they folded. I'm not going to give you a break for folding. Any nigga that folds deserves it.
No one's giving them a break.
You're saying the other team shouldn't even have a chance.
You don't have to give them a break to state facts.
Okay.
Like, it's a fact they had a harder time as opposed to the other teams who were fighting for that slot, who weren't going to be in that position if didn't happen.
If this
the Suns had no shot. Portland
Don't
had
say that. You're doing it again. No shot.
Portland,
what is no shot to you? 0%?
Not 0%.
You should clarify that.
Less than like 5%.
You should
less
clarify
than 2%.
That. You should clarify that.
I think most people get it. I think you just don't get it.
I don't get it. Nate, you are saying one thing and implying a different thing.
Because no shot means realistically, if you look at how they were playing before the bubble,
sure,
you look at their record.
Got you.
This team's not coming back for the 8th seed.
Okay.
The bubble happens.
That sounds like an assumption to me.
Sure, it's an assumption.
You should stop assuming. You gave that advice.
Sure, but what you're making is an assumption too.
That they had a chance?
No. What you're making an assumption of is that it would have just been the same thing if the bubble didn't happen. No, like the bubble.
I didn't assume that.
They made up these
chance.
rules. This is not something. Well, this is not something that there's not in the bylaws of the NBA.
Don't go saying I assume when I did. When did I assume?
Look, let me explain everything.
Go ahead. Do what you need to do. Because that's a cap.
This is a brand new season.
Sure.
Why are we assuming that this season should be? Because you're assuming the NBA has just declared this, but we all know this is not the same season. This is 5 months is usually an off season.
Yeah, it's 3, but we'll go ahead.
3? It's been 3 months.
Was it March to July?
At least 4. It's been like 4.
March to July.
That's almost an off season. This is not the same season.
Mid-July? Never mind. Continue.
It's closer to an off season than not.
Okay. Because the basketball season was 4 months.
This is a completely different season. You know what I'm saying? Like, call it that. Now, if you wanted to do something like, you know what I'd be more for?
What?
Just say, fuck the season, and we're just doing this. Like, we're just doing this. Like, we're starting anew.
You just wanted to end last season and start this season as a new regular season.
Because my thing is, trying to merge them together is kind of stupid to me because they're not the same thing.
Trying to start a new season right now would be kind of wild.
I think it'd be wild, but I think it'd be wild in a good way. I think trying to act like these are the same teams. No, they're not. These are different teams in terms of their mindset now. It's been months separate. These are not the same teams.
Oh, God, that's so cool. Oh, the fights have started. That's why. But
yeah, but I understand what you're saying. I just feel that off top, you know how I felt about the season. Off top, I'm like, this is not a real basketball season. Like I still believe that. Like it's not a real basketball.
I think
like this is not the 2019-2020 NBA season. The champion will not be the 2020 NBA champion. We said it's NBA Curious Championship.
I think you'd be hard pressed to convince. I said that at a point. I've changed my mind now, seeing how the bubble works.
I got you. I'm still on that wave.
Okay.
So I'm consistent in terms of how I'm feeling about this whole shit. This is a different season. Call it that. Like this is a bubble season. You have a bubble MVP. You have a bubble first team. Fine. If you want to do away with the results of the season, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that. Combining it like this,
that doesn't make sense to you.
It doesn't make sense because if you're telling me, like, if you're asking me LeBron would not be playing hard if the season didn't end, I think he would be playing a little different because it's a little different because now we have less games, less he has to do to get the first seed. When you have 20-something games left, that's different. The Clippers can literally win like 10 straight games and be the first seed. So it's different. For certain teams, it's like, oh, the bubble's an advantage. For certain teams, the bubble's a disadvantage.
So it's a lot of implications going on there.
It's not implications, it's fact. The Lakers benefited from the bubble. The Grizzlies did not benefit from the bubble.
All right. God, I feel like this is circles defined. Yeah, bro. I fully believe that we could go on this for hours. If you were going to sit here and make the argument that this is a new season because of coronavirus, you'd be hard pressed to tell the people down in Orlando right now that this season should just be its own thing. They know what they came into. They know that the season didn't end.
I'm a fan. I don't give a fuck what they think. Like, I'm a fan. Like,
this is why your opinion is where it is.
Whoa, I'm a fan. Like, I don't give a fuck what they think. Of course they did that. Of course. What are they gonna do?
They know
what are they gonna do, Nana?
They know what their job is.
What are they gonna do?
They know what their job is, bro.
I'm saying I am not behooven to getting a check from the NBA, so I don't give a fuck.
I hear you. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just looking at it from an outsider perspective. Like,
opinions
it's
are
kind of
entitled.
stupid to say the niggas who are playing well, the Bucks, Lakers, all that, who are playing well, are the same team in the bubble. That's all I'm saying. Like,
I think they're mad.
They're not.
I think you're mad at how unprecedented these situations are.
No, I'm not.
That's what it sounds like.
I'm not mad about it. I'm just saying
it's whack to try to put these together.
I'm just saying because it'd be one thing if there's a specific reason why, or a basketball reason, seeding reason why we're playing these games.
Sure.
That's not the reason why they're playing the games.
Okay.
They're playing the games for the money. So it's like, that doesn't mean that this is the same season. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just saying it's the same season.
Even though the main reason is the money, we all know what we've gotten ourselves into here. There's no confusion from anyone.
And that's fine. I'm watching the games as much as anybody.
There should not be confusion, even from you, Nick. You understand the situation here.
I understand the situation. Of course, we're literally about to start the playoffs. Of course, I understand the meaning.
You understand the pandemic has ruined that season.
I understand the reason. What I'm saying is, I from the start said this is not a real season.
Okay, all right. I was here with you saying it.
I'm like, from the start, I've said that, and I still believe that. There's nothing that can shake that for me.
Okay.
Like, the fact that the Lakers and the Bucks don't have home court when they were balling all year.
Yep.
No team has home court. It's like, these are not real playoffs. Really?
This is our current day basketball.
Like,
take it or leave it.
I'm saying, if LeBron wins a championship this year, as a Laker, I'm gonna be like, all right, it's kind of really not a championship.
This is current day basketball. Take it or leave it, Nick.
I mean, of course I'm gonna take it.
All right.
We have to deal. I'm saying,
beggars is always doing the crying.
No one's begging.
What's the next topic, Nick?
I don't know.
What's the count, actually? What are we, 3 hours again?
No, we're like 2.5. Because you arguing about everything, nigga.
Lower your voice.
You argue about everything, nigga. I'll get it louder if you say it again.
Look, Nick. Me and you both know you arguing like a little child right now. I'm going to let you be. But raise your voice again.
I'm not going to raise it for my roommate's sake. But
yeah, give whatever excuse you need.
I think you just want to argue today.
Me, I came here to have a podcast. When someone tells me on Cappin, now I came here to discuss some shit.
I mean, I guess my thing is with my team benefited from this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not acting like if I be capping if I'm like just all Lakers shit. Like, oh, we're fine. Like, but it's like, no, like,
you're presenting different arguments. I'm not arguing to get that.
Like,
I just think your opinion on some
I'm just like,
topics are
this
whack.
whole thing is kind of cap. You know what I'm saying? Like, this whole season's kind of cap. If we're being honest, like, if we're being completely honest, the whole season's cap.
Nick,
we are pretending like it's not, but it is cap. This
the
is not the
sooner
same
you
season.
accept this, the easier it will be. It's reality.
I mean, I'm watching it because it's entertaining.
Did you hear what I said?
No.
The sooner you accept it, the easier it will be.
What?
The sooner
what
you accept it, the easier it will be.
You sound got to.
Cool.
Not laughing to hide his pain.
Hey, bro, I've never done that shit. That's always the
You
energy.
should see the tears in his beard.
On everything I love. You know how dramatic. That's some Drake video shit.
Yo, let's talk about it, bro.
Hey.
So, Nana, before we start this, so look, Drake dropped the single. Nana showed me the video for the Drake single. I want to state that video was awful to me. The song is amazing. One of my favorite Drake singles he's released
in a
since,
while.
I would say maybe it's hard because it's up there, man.
It's been a while.
Honestly, I would say Headlines.
Sheesh, that's a while.
It is, but I really do feel like Headlines is the last time where I listened to a Drake single and I was like, oh, I gotta play this shit back like multiple times. Like it has that triumphant feel.
Does.
That triumphant feel. He brought Dirk,
which is something I didn't see coming at all.
I don't think anybody saw it, but I don't think anybody. I hope nobody complained.
I think there's some other headlines that definitely have me hit replay, but it's definitely been a while since a Drake single dropped like this. That's made me go, okay, this is.
I'd say replay as many times, like it's because there have been Drake singles that are good, of course.
Yeah,
but this one, I'm just like, damn, like this beat is perfect.
He's going back to these horns is from early 2000s,
and it gave me some hope for like, oh, this next project.
I think it's gonna be good.
I think so.
I think Drake has found his lane. I don't think the music video was awful. I think it's a little negative tone, but I thought it was an entertaining watch. It put a smile on my face. Maybe it didn't for others.
I thought it was a little product placement. I think that it didn't do anything that impressed me.
Too woke for your own good, Nick.
No, I just think that it was. I don't know.
Just enjoy it for what it was, bro.
It was shot very well. I think KD was good. I think Odell was good. I think Dirk was good.
Marshawn Lynch was funny. I think that the product placement was just what the fuck. There was no concept to the video really at all.
And Drake was just,
being Drake.
Being the most Drake.
Oh no.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's fine. And look, that's fine. It's as far as like my preferred Drake videos, it's probably in like the bottom half. But it's not horror. It's not the worst video I've seen from him. It's not best I ever had.
Drake found his element, and I enjoy the vibe he giving off.
I thought the vibe in God's Plan was more of his element. I think that because that was stunning too, but it was just like, okay, this is kind of different kind of stunning. It's like, okay, cool. Like you're actually stunning charity shit. You're actually stunning like helping other people. I mean, that's interesting.
The concept itself is tougher, but that didn't really like make my day music video wise. Like I wasn't like, this is just it for a music video. I thought the concept itself was tough. But like I said, I thought this music video you should have just enjoyed it for what it was. It was a bunch of rich people, famous people doing rich, famous people things, enjoying a good time. You feel me? The whole video was a flex. So do with it as you will. Maybe you didn't feel like getting flexed on today.
No, watch people flex all the time. Well, I watch rappers flexing in videos, every music video pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Seems to be the basis.
Wasn't a flexing thing. I've seen people flex harder. I've seen people flex less. It's not that. It's more of, I told you this. It was kind of corny to me. Just overall, just a little corny. And I thought the Tootsie Slide video was also
Drake is a corny individual to me. So to see him fully embrace said corniness, I thought this was perfect. I think he's getting closer to his final form of max corniness.
And hopefully, there's some more videos in the lineup for this album.
I imagine so.
I don't know because I feel like he doesn't really drop that many music videos.
He never had this much time on his hands.
No, he drops like one per album. It's like, okay.
I don't think he's ever had this much time on his hands.
Definitely. I think that hopefully, I would, if he can make another video for a dope song, I'll watch it. Because, when he drops a dope song, I'm like, all right, let me see what the video's about. You know what I'm saying? Like down the road. Maybe not immediately. I only watched it because you did. You told me to.
Hey, bro. I don't regret
I usually just let these Drake's videos sit for a couple months. I click it when I'm randomly bored at home. Be like, okay, that was Drake.
Like I said, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it enough to tell you to watch it. I've told other people to watch it. It genuinely was 4 minutes of just, you shut off your head. Don't think too much about it. Watch it. Smile. Keep moving. Right. If you thought too much about it, you already ruined it for yourself.
Didn't think too much about it. Just didn't get anything from it. I guess that was really the main crux of it. I didn't get anything.
Why'd you come in looking for something?
I didn't come in looking for anything specific. I was just like, give me something that I can think was unique.
Damn.
There's nothing unique. Would you call this unique?
No.
Yeah, it's like, I'm like, give me something that's interesting, unique. Don't give me 4 minutes of an Instagram live, basically.
I think you came in with expectations and were somehow let down.
No, because I know how Drake videos go.
And you still were let down?
Yeah.
Ew.
Absolutely. I came in with literally this probably going to be just okay. That was my expectation. Just be okay.
Okay.
And it was a little under that because it's just random product placement for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
That's the whole problem.
Drake being, no, it's not. It's one part.
I promise you,
Drake being corny and shit. It's like, okay, like sometimes that lands with me. Like I will give you like there's some videos of his that like he's corny. I'm like, okay, that's funny. That's
but there's a concept behind it.
No, it's not even a concept. It's like, I think it landed better.
Okay,
it's all about a landing thing. Like you can be corny and have no point, but if it lands better, fine. And I don't think like, you know, everything he does is corny.
I do.
But I think that a lot of it is corny.
A good majority.
And sometimes it's corniness that I could like for example, you said you hate the Start from the Bottom video. I actually like that video. That is super corny. A lot of it is super corny, man. God.
The fact that this is even a discussion.
You don't like the Start from the Bottom video?
That was ass personified.
I like that. It was like corny, but it's like I'm fine with that.
You like two different types of corny then, man. That's crazy. You like your cornbread done over easy.
It was, you know what? It was almost like he was breaking the fourth wall in this last video. Like he was like, "I'm corny, Nana. Experience the corny."
Like, if that's how you feel about it, I can see it. Yeah, he went a little over the top.
And that's honestly, that's the best way I can put it.
He violated the corny code. Huh?
It seemed like, you know, it's like he's watching. He's like he knows you're watching this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like. Okay, it's whatever.
It is what it is.
I'm happy niggas like it, you know what I'm saying? And because the more niggas like it, the more people are gonna hear the song, and that's all that matters. Because the song is amazing. I think, you know, we're in for some good shit. Hopefully it releases. So.
I thought the album
it comes
title was whack.
Sooner rather than later.
I thought the album title was pretty whack, but we'll go with it.
Oh my god, it was whack.
Hey, I think it fits a theme though.
My thing is, why if he had just called it Lover Boy, I've been fine.
The Certified ruins it for you?
The Certified kind of makes it like, really? Like, if it was just called Lover Boy, would you really be sitting there like, oh, that's super corny? It's like,
yes.
The Certified is like, it's a long title too.
I think
it's honestly the fact the Certified adds another word to it.
How big is the word Certified for you for this to be a long title now?
I mean, Certified is a pretty decent sized word.
All right, like I said, if you
Certified, it's a pretty decent sized word. It wasn't needed.
If you would have called this Lover Boy, I would have been like, yeah, you're just being corny again, Drake. But you called it Certified Lover Boy.
It's all corny.
Which I feel like...
Let's be real. A lot of Drake Drake album titles in general are corny.
Look, Nothing Was the Same is a lifestyle.
Corny.
Corny. But we're going to leave that alone.
Thank Me Later. Like, corny. They're all corny, bro.
I thought some actually have some concepts behind it.
I think Lover Boy would have been in that same realm of corniness. Right. Certified Lover Boy, I'm just like, okay.
Nah, I think this one's a little tier above the rest, corny-wise. But I think he calls it just Lover Boy.
I agree with you, definitely.
He calls it just Lover Boy. I kind of walk away with that's just whack. That's whack and corny. But he called it Certified Lover Boy.
So you think it's whack? Okay, I got you. I'm saying corny. From whack-wise, I think he is whack.
All right. Yeah, so I feel like him throwing Certified Lover Boy in front of it kind of screams, yeah, nigga, this is corny, so what? And I fuck with that. That's an interesting one. You don't throw that word certified in there unless you're trying to get yourself acknowledged as whatever the next title is.
He could have just called you certified. And honestly, that might have been
dope.
That might have been a tough title, to be honest.
Called that bitch certified. I'm like, all right, great. Come with it. I think he would have to come with a little more heat then if he would call this bitch certified.
But overall, you know, I think the Drake's gonna drop some heat. Hopefully, with that title, I don't know. But
look, we know what it is. We gonna hit play. That's for sure.
But look, we got a request.
This is gonna be an 8-hour podcast.
Nah, we about to be done. We only got a couple of things to go over.
Go ahead.
But we got a request to review the new Cardi B Megan Thee Stallion single.
WAP.
Man.
WAP.
So I'll let you go first. How you feel about the song? How you feel about the song and how you feel about the video?
Song personally, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I really listen to Cardi B like that. So it wasn't gonna change that per se. I wasn't gonna put this on my phone. It wasn't what I hit play. I thought the beat was tough. I really fucked with the beat. I did. Cardi's funny as shit. I need niggas to understand that. I feel like sometimes people take her a little too seriously. And she's not like that. She's
way too serious.
Yeah, she genuinely can make you laugh at some of her bars, and you're here for a good time, not a philosophical time. You feel me? So I thought one of the song wasn't even that bad, but I'm just not that big Cardi fan, so I won't go nowhere. I thought Megan's verse was tough. I like how they kind of like split verses. I thought that concept was cool. Music video wise, I thought the choreography was dope as hell. I thought the concept was kind of cool, and I love how what's her name? What's the tiger chick name? Fuck.
Tyga?
No, the chick that did Tiger King. What's her name? She had her husband like killed or whatever. Fuck. She called her Cardi B out for using tigers in her video, and it turns out they weren't even there. They were green screened in.
I truly don't know what you're talking about, honestly.
You really don't? Mm-mm. Fuck. Now I gotta use the internet. Hold on.
Carol Baskins.
There it is. Thank you.
Okay.
She
Okay.
called out Cardi B for her use of tigers. And that's when I knew niggas
Talk
would,
about fake woke.
motherfuckers would just find any reason
Talk
to not
about
like this
fake
shit.
woke, man.
But I thought the video was well put together. I think it definitely grabbed the attention it was looking for and then some. And I love it. You motherfuckers always gonna find a way to hate us with shit. It was Ben Shapiro over here detailing it word for word. Man, you don't get this type of...
There are whores in his house.
You don't get this type of entertainment unless you do some shit. You feel me? They not gonna hate unless they notice.
I don't think we differ. Like, I thought
it was a good
I think I
concept.
like the song a little more than you. Cause I actually like the song.
I didn't care for it. It came in a win for me. You're probably not gonna catch me blasting into it going around town. You feel me?
I don't bump Cardi B and Megan like that. But like when they're playing at a friend's house or something, like a girl's house or anything.
Word. That's where it's at.
I can feel the vibe because the beat is always good.
I'm not gonna tell someone change the song. Like I said,
not even that, but I'm saying not even that. Like I will, fuck with it.
All right.
It's like, when I go over your house and you play McConan. I'm not playing McConan when I get home.
Heard.
But like when you're playing McConan, I'll fuck with it because it sounds good. It's just not good enough for me. It's not even good enough. It's not on my wave.
It doesn't make the phone playlist.
Right. Like Megan and Cardi aren't on my wave. I've heard all their music though, because I've, from my little sister to my big sister to friends of mine, they all like her. So
popular.
And Cardi. So, I don't have a problem with the song. I think it was average.
I don't think it was Meg's best work, that's for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. The video,
I thought was tough.
I thought it was cool. I don't understand where this hate for it comes.
Like I said,
Ben Shapiro, that's his thing. Like he's done that in other ways.
You're not gonna get hate unless he done something. You feel me? It's just, not gonna come unless it's attention.
It's not even when he was reciting the lyrics though.
How he was treated. He had it.
It's when he said, "My wife, she's a doctor, and she said if you have a wet ass pussy, then that's a gynecologist situation." It's like,
oof.
That's so your wife is
hey, man.
Your wife is capping on you.
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Like that's kind of revealing.
That's when
I wouldn't be saying that out loud.
That's when everyone in the room knows something about you that you didn't, and now you said it, and everyone's kind of like, "Ooh." Yeah. I don't think everyone in the room necessarily knew this situation.
Like, you need to get your life experiences up, boy. Like,
hey, man,
like you hitting that shit dry. Damn, bro. Like, that was my first thought when he said it. I was like, man.
My thought is, I think someone else hitting it, and it's not dry. That's all I'm gonna say. But
I'm saying, she was like, let me come with some bullshit.
She gave this nigga some facts that he ran to the motherfucking.
She was probably sitting there listening to him. She's like, oh dang, he said that online.
He ran to the internet with this one, boy.
He said that on YouTube. Oh no,
he ran to the internet with that one, boy. So look, it is what it is.
He's like, babe, I thought you said your pussy doesn't get wet.
She meant it. She finished her sentence.
She was so real.
She was
too real, bro.
She didn't finish her sentence. She meant to say for him.
Yeah.
You feel me? But nonetheless,
it
is what it is.
He wasn't the only person hating on it.
No, there's a large coalition, bro. Like I said, if no one's hates on some shit that's not getting no attention. You feel me?
I think on some level, I'm not saying this is everybody. I think that some people are like, when you talk about like independence for women, you know what I'm saying? Like they look at that and they're like, oh, that's where independence leads. It's like, that's a way it can lead. You know what I'm saying? That's like to act like that's the result of feminism and shit. It's like, I think that's just girls just doing having fun and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I know a bunch of girls who listen to that music who are married Christian folk. You know what I'm saying?
It's
like
not that deep, bro. It's music.
Yeah, like it's just some shit. Like I listen to fucking Young Dolph, which we're gonna get to next.
Sure.
I'm not out here shooting, nigga. I'm not out here selling coke and everything. Love listening to it though.
That's truth. Like I said, I think people are always gonna make it more deep than it used to be.
Absolutely.
They're talking about like I can't have my daughter listening to this because like what's gonna happen to her next.
And look,
like,
that's a parental decision. That's fine and shit.
Like letting your kid.
But
go
if
to
your
college,
kid's over like 14, 15. You gotta stop capping.
Leave it alone,
you gotta
bro.
stop.
It's music.
If you 12 or 11, okay.
Hear me out.
I see it.
There were songs I was singing 9, 10, 11, 12.
Oh yeah, me too.
You definitely.
But my mom wasn't like actively playing it on the radio and shit. Like I'd do that shit myself.
If you playing that song for your kids, you gotta understand that the internet is loud and proud nowadays. And if you don't want your kids walking around talking about what, you feel me? Don't play that song for them. But don't think the internet's not gonna get them hip, bro. YouTube's too powerful.
And don't think that song's gonna turn your daughter into a slut.
I'm about to say, if you think that's the problem, you probably are the problem, and we just gonna keep it at that.
Yeah, I agree.
So what's up with this dope tape, Eric?
So, me personally, it's not my favorite Dolph tape by any means.
Me neither.
I think our favorite Dolph tapes differ.
That's cool.
You know,
He's got a lot of projects.
He has a lot of projects, and I would dare to say they all run the same gamut. You know what I'm saying?
Dope not gonna switch it up too far.
No. So I think that that's like saying, what's your favorite Gucci project? There's so many to choose from.
It's old Gucci, new Gucci.
Right.
At least you got that. Those pretty much the same.
Yeah, that's true. I'm saying even like, what's your favorite like new Gucci project?
Oh, like, they're all the same.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And Dolph operates that same lane, but
dude.
they're all quality. And I would say this one, if you say this is your favorite Dolph project, I ain't gonna say anything to you. Like that's fine.
No blasphemy there.
Not mine.
Not gonna stick with the pitchforks.
I know mine is Gelato.
Where I fuck with 60.
And it was probably just because of the time frame it came in.
Look,
you know what I'm saying? A lot of good times.
I think that's a big factor for life, though. You feel me?
Yeah.
Certain projects hit a little different because that's just where you were in life.
Type shit. But my favorite tracks, what was it about? I should have put the
To
list
be
out.
honest, that was my track. I'm gonna just tell you that right now, bro. That shit in the whip, boy. Just go ahead. That's number one for me.
I'm gonna just state them. Like, hold up. To be honest, I see dollar signs.
Mm-hmm.
Death Row.
That was a tough. I heard that was the single though that dropped before, so I kind of already seen that coming.
You know what? I think I did hear it, but I don't think I registered that.
I brought it up in the last podcast. No cap. You got to run that back all 2 hours.
Possibly. I ain't running that back.
You would be listening to me at all, Nick.
Cray Cray was probably the most creative song on there.
I didn't like it too much.
I like that song. I think it was most creative.
I think it was
a little out of his element.
Yeah, it was a different way.
And I appreciated that because he doesn't do that.
I appreciate the effort. I didn't like the execution.
Got it. That's fair. R&B single
Came and went.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Rich Slave was dope, and
that
then No Sense. It ends so well.
Like I said, I'd stop.
Yeah. You gotta get some No Sense bends one scale.
I heard no sense go crazy. Like I tell when I got here, I thought the song was more beat than verses, but I'm a huge Key Glock fan, so you already know I was here for that.
Key Glock killed that shit.
And no, for say he had the better verse in my opinion. But
definitely.
Bends in one scale never got to. So.
But yeah. So you overall fuck with it?
Definitely one of the better projects to drop this weekend.
Got you. Anything else you listen to?
The list not long. Jaden Smith dropped Rainbow Bap. It was harder than I thought it was going to be.
I saw he dropped it, didn't click on it.
It's not his best work, so it came in a win again. Don Toliver, Nav, and Gunna dropped the song. Beat was tough.
It was okay.
Don Toliver killed the hook.
Internet Money?
Lemonade?
Yeah, it's called. Yeah. I think the group name was Internet Money.
I think that's the producer, but I might be capping.
I think you're right about that. Yeah, but, I thought it was just okay.
Beat tough. Nav killed the hook. I like Gunna verse. I said Nav killed the hook. Sorry, let me repeat this again. Beat tough. Don Toliver killed the hook. Gunna did well. They should have replaced Nav with Lil Baby. Would have been a banger.
Breaking news.
Weird.
We have a new mixtape
with
Dame Dollar. Live from the Bubble.
That's tough.
It is. Honestly, the name is so tough. I might have to listen.
Let me know how it go, and I might
have to. I'm gonna give it like 2 tracks.
Anderson .Paak dropped a song with Rick Ross.
Didn't like it.
What? Hit Boy made the beat and what?
No, I didn't like it.
Wow.
I like both. I like Rick Ross. I like Anderson .Paak. It just didn't do it for me.
It didn't do it. I thought it was an interesting combination. I like what Anderson .Paak did with the song. I think it was more Anderson than Rick.
I like Anderson .Paak, and I wouldn't say I hated him on it.
It wasn't his best work.
Yeah, and I love Anderson .Paak's like music, so I like.
He's more creative than what the song.
What I will say is, if it came on the shuffle, I'm not skipping it. It's not skippable. But
really,
as a single, I'm like, this isn't like.
I think you like it more than you're giving off.
Like, no. What I'm saying, I didn't say it was awful. It didn't do it for me. Like, if it came out in like an album,
you said it didn't do it for you, but you wouldn't skip it.
Yeah, I wouldn't skip it.
It's interesting.
It's because the beat's a vibe. I just didn't
Hit Boy
like
beat,
where
baby.
Things were going. I didn't like where the track
went. How we ended it too. Thought that was tough.
It was okay. I think Rick Ross was okay.
Vic Mensa dropped the song.
I didn't hear that.
Didn't hear it. And yeah, that was pretty much it for me music wise. I didn't venture too far. I didn't think a lot really dropped, to be honest. I mean, tape wise, it's probably artists for days. I think Cash Page dropped the tape, didn't listen to it.
Me neither.
So yeah, it's just kind of it wasn't a weekend where a lot of tapes dropped and I was like must play.
I
tape.
got you.
And
just
Guap Dab just dropped the project.
I listened to
Platinum Falcon Returns.
And just because I like reading off like the first week sales and shit.
Yeah.
Like last week, NLE Choppa Top Shotters sold 33K first week.
Yeah.
Pretty good for him. I think that's a success.
I guess.
Amine sold 26K.
Less than NLE?
And who?
Choppa.
Choppa sold more.
I said less. That's what I was trying to. Oh, that kind of sucks.
I think so too. I think that, but On the other hand, his last album sold 13. So this one sells double.
This is growth.
It's growth.
It's just a shame. There's
the amount of features on there and everything. You would think it'd be a little more. He had a Thug feature. He had a.
I didn't listen to NLE Chopper's tape, so maybe I'm just missing out entirely. But to think that just where you see them both as artists, if you will, maybe we just got two different skewed opinions. I just thought Eddie would put a little more closer of a fight than that. That's probably close music wise, but to see him not even
men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Apparently, niggas is playing NLE shit, bro.
Yeah.
But all right, go ahead. You was talking about numbers.
Yeah. So and then Lil Key, is it Lil Key?
Lil Keyed.
Lil Key. Lil Key's trapped on Cleveland 3, so 16K first week.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's decent.
I don't listen to Lil Key, so you can put up whatever you want.
So many rappers out,
man.
Probably the internet.
I think that's it for what we listen to. If we don't got nothing else to spread.
I don't think so. I'm just making sure we didn't skip anybody.
Oh, go to sleep. Let's end this motherfucker, bro.
Oh, just one last thing.
Go ahead.
Rico. I don't know if you listen to Rico Nasty.
Not gonna say and claim that I do.
Big fan of Rico Nasty.
Word.
Announced her new album, Nightmare Vacation, coming out.
What a date?
No date.
Oh.
That's the only disappointing thing. But I'm a big Rico fan.
Tough. My sister's a
Kenny
Rico fan.
Kenny Beats
does a lot of work with her. I know that. And his
beats he gives her
best stuff.
I think so.
Really?
Like, he's dropped some dope stuff for other people, but I'd say if I'm thinking of a Kenny Beats production, I gotta go Stop a Bitch. That beat is so hard.
I'll have to give that a listen.
Got to. That beat is just hard. It's just 808s, but it's like the best patterns you could possibly think of.
All right.
Shouts out Kenny Beats. But overall, we laughed, we cried, we had a good time.
We talking about this podcast?
Yeah, overall.
Oh, this is us wrapping it up.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's the last topic, right? You got anything else?
Don't assume, yo. Don't assume.
Don't assume unless it's implied.
If it's implied, is it assumed already?
I think that's the question of the day.
Damn, we didn't have a word of the day, did we?
Let's see. What?
Certified.
No, honestly, I was about to say absolutely
word
certified.
Certified, baby.
Yeah, man. Word day certified, man.
Ooh, we did it.
It's been a good podcast. You know
Honestly,
what I'm saying?
if you didn't enjoy the least discussion, the back and forth, maybe you would sleep. Because
I'm saying,
I enjoyed
it. I enjoyed it too, man. Getting on each other's nerves is a pastime. You know what I'm saying?
But this is part of the gimmick
type shit, man. Ain't shit.
Much love.
I think we should. Let's pick one. I knew you were gonna pick that one.
What else was I gonna pick? I mean, we got options. Yeah, didn't like it.
Yeah, I think we killed this joint today.
What?
I think so. I think we have some. I think we have some good. We gonna edit this shit.
It's not 3 hours again.
No, it's not gonna be 3 hours. We gonna edit this shit. We had a good podcast today, bro. Overall, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh my God!
Hey, yo,
man, we didn't make use of the past today because we were, having heated discussions.
We're listening, bro. We're listening to suggestions. You feel me? We're hearing out what people got to say. Much love for tuning in. Much love for giving a fuck. Much love for all the good shit. You feel me?
Much love, man.
Spread the link. Tell the vibes.
Man, where can we find you on Snapchat, bro?
If you don't know by now, we're on episode 3 and you still trying to figure out. Cause tell you,
we got some new listeners, bro.
We
got some new listeners.
You might be onto something. It is at NYKOTT, all lowercase, no spaces. You feel me? If you didn't hear him, run it back a couple seconds.
Man, you can follow me on Twitter at the THA Real Thomas, man. You can follow me on SoundCloud at the year 4000, man. Like, you want to do some good music, you need some mix and mastering done.
He got you.
Hit me up, man.
Man,
it's been a good week so far. We got a busy week. For me, at least. I got a busy week next week, so.
Same old over here, yeah.
Yeah, man. But we going to get it popping next week. We're going to see y'all next week. This is the Rando Convo podcast.
Drop that motherfucking beat, Nick. Shit.
Signing the fuck off. We out.